now. And for me, I find it fascinating because there's a lot that goes into what you're doing. I haven't even said what you're doing, but there's a lot of making stuff happen. Um, you want to explain, tell whoever's watching, whoever doesn't know better. Sorry, Cartoon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But you're in Sacramento,
Yeah.
and something going on in the sports in Sacramento, isn't there? Possibly.
So we're home to the NBA Sacramento Kings. It's our only major league professional team at this point in time. We're hosting the Athletics, the team formerly known as the Oakland Athletics. They're playing in West Sacramento in our AAA minor league ballpark. This is season 2 of what could be 3, if not maybe 4 seasons, depending on how things go with their construction in Vegas.
Everything.
So, and then that ballpark's home to the River Cats. They used to be the Athletics minor league team, but now they're the San Francisco Giants for I don't know how many years now. And we're also home to the Republic FC, which is our minor league soccer team. And we're going to build a new stadium for them. And in the rail yards, which is the biggest land development in the entire U.S., has just been sitting like dirt for so many decades. So now there's going to be the stadium there. They're building a new Kaiser Hospital, a new courthouse, new housing, some additional transportation, et cetera.
Oh wow.
Infrastructure so yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And
I've been to the Sacramento River Cats game like about 10 years ago. Went out there.
Oh, okay.
Was out there and I was like, I got to go see this because everybody's like, such a beautiful ballpark. And when I first got there, I was like, this is really nice for a minor league baseball team. I really had a great time there. And then I went to go see, at the time they had the Sacramento Gold minor league soccer team at the time, before the Sacramento Republic. And I went to go see them play too, and that was a lot of fun.
So go ahead.
So I was going to say, so with the ballpark, what did you check out while you were out here besides the game?
I checked out at the time I saw this Sacramento State football stadium. That was really cool. Went downtown. I mean, it was the part that I saw downtown wasn't very. I was in the rough part because we were waiting to pick up somebody at the time who I was with, and then I saw that. Then we went to Sacramento Republic game, and then I wanted to go to a River Cats game. Had a lot of fun. Enjoyed the ballpark. Enjoyed the stadium. All of what I saw was just not too much, but I did see a little bit of the town. And I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And the weather was really nice. Way different than when you're in LA, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I mean, LA and San Diego can have nicer weather. Sometimes it gets a little hot up here, but the weather's really nice up in this area, regardless.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I've never been there, so I have no clue.
Oh,
I'm clueless.
There's a lot to do there. I was only there for, 3-4 days. Didn't really get enough time to see everything that I wanted to see. I wanted to go do other things, but I just didn't have time.
So Mike, I'm just interrupt right now. I've never been to Sacramento, so I know a guy down there that might, if I have to go visit. I'm just putting that out there that I might have to visit in the next year or 6 months or something. Just
let me know.
Okay?
Just let me know.
That's what I knew you said that. So, but with everything that's going on, I think it'd be an exciting time to see what's going on visually and actually,
I mean, for one thing, you definitely want to come out here and watch a baseball game because it's a minor league ballpark. So there's no upper deck. There's no outside like bleacher seats or anything. It's just a grassy area in right field. But if you get seats behind like home plate, even if you're like 19, 20 rows up, you're hearing that ball hit that catcher's mitt so loud. You can hear the players chat, the ball being hit by the bat. It's just, it's just so unreal to be that close to the field of a Major League Baseball game.
We do have a
That's what it
the
looks
Spokane
like.
Indians, and I've been to several games this year, and it's. I would hopefully compare it to what you've seen. Went to a
That's what it
Mariners
looks like.
game this year, and we're upper. Oh, there it is. Look at that. See, Mike, who's.
Mhm. Yep.
But how long's the season? Because I'm not a baseball fanatic. When's their? You wasn't that, you were talking about that earlier to privately about the last game. When?
So the season is typically around late March up until about late September, and
Okay.
then the playoffs begin in October.
Okay. So I got a couple. I got a couple days if I'm going to get it down there to check things out for a game.
And I would say come out to the last home game if you can.
Well, you said something about that earlier, and I'm just going. And now we're talking about it, and I'm just going. So I'm just saying it could happen. I don't want to overwhelm because I have no clue about anything else down there. So I'm going, Mike. But I think I'd. Why don't you share with Foxy as well as whoever's watching what the last game you Mike? Could you share that? You shared it with me, but would you like to share that at this time or what you're
Yeah,
working on?
this hasn't gone public yet. We just found out this morning that we locked it in. So
You don't want
long
to say
story. Yeah. So long story short, I mean, that's not a long story. It's a long story. We have to go way back to 1984.
that's
So
way.
I got the Presidential Fitness Award. And with that, there was a prize, which was 2 tickets to an Oakland A's game. So my dad took me. I remember we sat on the third base side. I just can't remember if it was second or third deck. It was one of those two.
Okay.
And this is before the Bash brothers of Canseco McGuire. But seeing the Oakland Hills, seeing my first professional ball game, just fell in love with it. I was like, I'm hooked just after one game as a kid, and just try and watch as much as I can on television. Back then, watching NBA, you got Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, that sort of thing. And then in '85, we got our first team when the Kings relocated from Kansas City. So I was like, all right, that's my team. I don't have to watch the Warriors on TV anymore. The Warriors are in Oakland as the Golden State Warriors. So Kings became my team from that point on. Became a wrestling fan around that time as well, watching Hulk Hogan on the movie Rocky. I was like, who is this guy? Got so much charisma. He's a wrestler. I got to go on the TV and just click, or go through the TV guy. Like, where is this guy? I want to see what he does, who the opponents are. So I fell in love with wrestling and sports. And then a few years, the biggest time for me in wrestling was 86 through 87.
Okay.
From, you had like Macho Man defeating Tito Santana. I saw them before the title change. That was my first match I got to see in person at the old Arco Arena. Tito was still the champion. Like a few days later, a week later, whatever it was, they go to Boston and he wins the title, but we don't know about it because you have to wait till they say something on TV about it. And I'm like, God, I was so close. I could have, if they just booked it in Sacramento, I could have seen history, But I really want to see Tito and Macho Man. They're two of my other favorites. So I got to see him. And then the build-up that summer when Paul Orndorff turned on Hulk Hogan, you could see it coming. Even though it doesn't surprise you, it still surprised you. And that build-up, their feud they had that summer, all the way the rest of the year on Saturday night's main event, they had a few of them, like the match when Adonis interfered, and then later, the cage match to end the feud. That was just red hot. And then, of course, you got the Bulldogs up and coming as tag team champions. They started the whole Danny Davis planting the seed of him being a heel ref. I mean, the characters, the stories were incredible back in '86. And you got the LGN figures coming out, different series, and they're doing it again, but they're not as good as they were the originals, So then you lead up to WrestleMania 3 with like Savage, what he did to Steamboat, Andre turning on Hogan, my first pay-per-view. But I had to go to the Arco Arena to watch it on a big screen. And from there, a few years later, where you held up, the Ultimate Warrior shows up a few months later on TV. I'm like, Who's this guy? Reminds me like a superhero, kind of like a He-Man or something, you know?
Yep.
So I got hooked on the Warrior, and my first pay-per-view I bought was WrestleMania 6 because I want to see him beat Hogan. Even though I started as a Hulkamaniac, I became a Warrior. And there's that, and he had a great match. And then, of course, with WrestleMania 7 with Savage, I hated how he lost to Slaughter. It's like, I get it. You're trying to play off, the war. But now you get this fantastic story between Savage and Warrior, career versus career. How is this going to happen? Warrior's got to win. There's no way because, Warrior's more of an up-and-comer compared to Savage, has been around longer. They put on a great match, great storytelling in the ring. Then you get Warrior versus Taker. And then he disappears after SummerSlam, comes back at WrestleMania. I knew he was going to come back because Vince never talks about the past. But the lead up for the tribute to Hogan, you see the Warrior picture of him and Hogan from WrestleMania. They show the whole match. I'm like, they wouldn't do that unless something's up. And sure enough, he came back like I knew he would. That pop was awesome. And then, of course, he disappeared again. So I saw him in a magazine that he was wrestling in Boston against Hercules. And I think it was like Wrestle America was the magazine or something. He's like flexing in his silhouette, wrestling attire. And next thing I knew, about a year or so later, he's putting advertisement, like he's going to have a book and he's got all this merchandise and stuff. And by then, the internet was just it's been around for a little bit, but it's really starting to pick up some steam, I guess.
What year was that? With the Warrior, all that, because
it was he was definitely putting stuff out in '94.
Okay.
I got online summer '94 through a buddy that I went to high school with, but he went to Fresno State. I went to Sac State, and he asked me, "Can I have access to your account while I'm home?" I was like, "Sure, whatever." And I asked him, "What do you need it for?" He's, "Oh, I'm going to look up stuff for music and news. Like, is there wrestling news on there?" He goes, "Yeah." That's how I found out about RSPW. So I was like, I'm on Rec Sports Pro Wrestling reading that bulletin board. And then a buddy told me about a phone number you can call that gives you all this insider news from like the Wrestling Observer and whatever other newsletters are out there. So I would take notes.
Was that the 1-900 number, or was that the
it was a regular phone number here in town.
Okay.
And I would call it a few times just to take notes, make sure I got it correct. Because I don't want, in one ear out the other kind of thing. Right. And I just started posting news on RSPW, making some friends on there. And then this is now a year later, it's 95, summer 95. I read about the plans for Dustin Runnels coming in as Goldust and all that. So, oh, this is interesting. We're learning stuff that you normally would know from the wrestling magazines on the newsstands. But again, I'm going to the newsstands and I see Warrior posting more stuff about his merchandise and everything. And I remember getting a letter saying, "Here's your money back. Unfortunately, there's not enough sales for my book. We'll try again later." But he sent the check back, and the check was from Ultimate Creation. So I saved it. I think I cashed it, but I definitely took a Xerox copy of it just to keep it that way.
Right. Let me interject. Hold on, Mike. Just because to track a little bit more. Mike was you got into wrestling and you're a fan of Warrior, but you didn't know, and then you're seeing this stuff where Warrior was marketing himself through the magazines.
Right.
And I remember seeing those also. That's how I remember seeing the Fabio. I thought it was Fabio in the back.
The black and white photo.
Yep, I got the poster of it too still.
Me too.
So Mike was just getting, so anybody that's watching, because I know the story we've shared, our experiences. So you were just trying to follow, and you're seeing the stuff because of your connections or what you did behind the scenes. Just go, here's your phone number. You're learning more. Then you're seeing stuff about Warrior, but not from Warrior himself per se, through the pro wrestling magazines or a couple of them. And because Warrior wasn't part of the WWF at the time.
Right.
So I'm sorry, just wanted to follow up. Fox, you're following the story now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mike, he's a little slow at times, so I just...
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, not to interrupt, but now, so you're seeing the stuff at 95-ish. Yeah, it would be 95.
Yeah. So that's summer 95, and now it's fall. It's September-ish, October-ish. And I send a letter to Ultimate Creations.
Sure.
And I'm like, why aren't you guys online? There's RSPW, there's websites and stuff. You guys only have a fax number, this phone number, and your physical address to your gym. So they replied within 2 days. They sent me a letter and they called me, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I talked to Gary. I think his last name was Segrist.
I believe so.
Yeah, so we started talking and I told him about my background. I was like, maybe I can help you guys out. So they're like, all right, let's see what we can do. And they started to send me some like pamphlets and stuff that I could take some notes, post it online. And I'm trying to remember how this all happened, but now it's December. And I want to say it was WWF Superstars. And at the end, they do this vignette kind of like build up with Bret Hart for his match. And he's like, you can train in vain, but I refuse to lose. Then the screen goes black and you think the show is over.
Right.
All of a sudden you hear Warriors music. You see him running like he did at WrestleMania 8. I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on here? They're actually showing him like, I go back again to WrestleMania 8. He was gone, but they're showing his matches, his footages. I'm like, something's going on here. No one's told me anything. So I immediately called the gym. I'm like, hey, Gary, I just saw this. What's up? He's like, we haven't signed anything. And I was like, I can hear Warrior like, yeah, they jumped the gun. I was like, can I post this online? And Warrior's like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, I hope I don't mess up contract negotiations doing it. I was like, no, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So I went online. I posted on RSPW. I was on ALL. I go to the WWF chat room stuff because there's always WWE employees in there. And the way you know is because their screen names had WWF at the beginning of their screen names. No one else can do that unless you're employed by WWF.
Right.
So I'm going in there posting on like ALO Grandstand, the chat rooms, RSPW. And people are like, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know him. I was like, look, he told me he hasn't signed. He's not coming back at the Rumble. Nothing's been signed. They jumped the gun. That's what he told me. And then like a few days later, you got like Dave Meltzer and, all these Insider Pro Wrestling Torch are like, oh, they haven't gone to an agreement yet, even though they showed it on TV. Like it looked like it was coming, but no, he hasn't. But they got it a few days after I did, or a week later or something. That's when people took notice, like, oh, you are for real. And then WWF contacted me. Like, how did you know this? Like, because I know him. We're friends. I'm helping him. So from there, I had this guy named Charles McLaurin. He was running the Backpipe Report at that time, which was the #1 wrestling newsletter. They had the most subscribers at that time back in 95, 96. And Charles said, based on what he saw, what I wrote, was like, hey, I'd love for you to come on, say whatever you want, but please post anything Warrior you want. It's all yours. I was like, all right. And then other newsletters and websites asked me to do the same. So I went back to Gary and Warriors like, hey, because of that, I've got all this trust. Now they're going to start publishing everything even more instead of me just going in a chat room. Now it's in these websites, these newsletters. So now you're having more eyes on your merchandise and your phone number to call and your address to get these brochures and stuff.
Right.
And so by February, I think like 17th or something like that, that's when it was announced that he has signed his return to come back. And they let me know, like, yeah, I'm coming back. And I'm thinking, well, it's been fun. You guys don't need me anymore. You got the big WWF machine behind you. They're like, no, you're still with us. You're part of us.
Yeah, Warriors that way.
Right. Yep. So stayed with them. I couldn't make it to WrestleMania because at that time I was 18, 96. No, I was 19 going on 20. And back then making like $450 an hour. There's just no way. And I didn't call unless it was an emergency. I did mostly email when I could. So I had Warriors email. It was just better for me as a 19-year-old with no money, just to connect with them and stuff.
We'll clarify, Foxy, you're too young to know. Back in the old days, you had to pay long distance charges.
Oh yeah, yep.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I knew I know what AOL is because it was around in the early 2000s.
I told
Yeah.
you, Mike, Orange. Steve. I mean, Foxy. I love you, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I'm just
like,
saying.
it was like, it was 10 cents a minute to call long distance.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Right.
damn.
imagine if you're on the phone just for a few minutes, like that bill will rack up quickly. And then when you're using AOL in the early days, it cost a lot before they finally got to like a $20 a month unlimited type of deal. But it took a while before they got there. So it was expensive back then.
And that's what you had to rely on to help to be, not to quote unquote just help, but you were doing get Warriors information out for Ultimate Creations and etc. And you wanted to make sure you got the information correct, but you did have his email, and so yeah. But back in the
Yeah.
day, it cost a lot of money, and being 19, it's you're trying to live. Were you in
Right.
college, too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in college, so I couldn't afford to drive or fly down to
Right.
Anaheim to watch WrestleMania 12 to go meet them. So I
Right.
thought, oh, maybe they'll do a house show in Sacramento. I can meet them then. But if you look at the calendar, they never came to Sacramento that year, as far as I can remember. And if they did, it was after he was already gone.
Probably.
So never
But
got
you're
to
lucky.
see him. What's that?
Your luck with that situation face to face with him, even though you had the other major connection. I mean, you were in communication. You knew stuff, and he helped you out. We'll get into that, but
Yeah.
And what
So
college did you go to? Sorry to interrupt.
Sac State.
I was just gonna say that. Okay, awesome.
Yep. Yep. So the funny thing is that June, when it was reported he was having those no shows. Well, let me back up. When he was at WrestleMania, he had to do the Raw live show the next night or Raw taping. Yeah, Raw live. So I got a call from Gary. He's like, "Hey, Warrior's out at Raw. He wants to know what you thought about him, his return at WrestleMania. He knows you're a big fan of his. He wants some feedback from you, but he's on the road. I'll let him know what you say when he gets back." I was like, "All right." And then there's that In Your House he did, of course, and then the King of the Ring, all that. But then there was those reports that he was missing house shows.
right.
And so if you ever heard the name Bob Ryder, he was another insider type. And he ran onewrestling.com. And so Bob was friends with Warrior. He used to get Warrior on Prodigy I think it was Prodigy to do a live chat. So I actually joined Prodigy just to be a part of that live chat back in 95. I think it was summer 95, just to hear what was going on with Warrior. What is his plans? Is he coming back, et cetera, that kind of thing. So I logged on to ALL and I got like, I don't know if it was an email or an instant message or something from Bob. He's like, "Hey, have you talked to Warrior?" I was like, "No." It's like, "Okay, I called him. I left him a voicemail. I need him to call me back about what's going on. Can you talk to him and have him call me back?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Dude, I'm just 20 years old, man. I'm an adult, but I'm still a young kid, and I'm now getting involved in this." I was
yeah.
like,
Damn.
I didn't want to be rude to Bob because Bob's always been nice to me. I was like, "All right, Bob, sure." I was
I'll
like,
do
"All
it.
right, I'll just call. He's not going to pick up. He's not going to be there or anything." So I go on my phone because that's the other thing. I got to pay for my own phone line because it back then with AOL it was dial up.
Yeah.
So if you go on AOL or some Prodigy or whatever, you got to log in and get that whole weird sound for your modem. Yep. As soon as it picks up, you lose your connection. So I had to get my own phone line to make sure no one picks up the phone while I'm online. So I call Warrior thinking, he's not going to pick up. It rings once, he picks up. And I'm like,
Son of.
oh, shit. I didn't think he was going to pick up. I thought I'd just leave him a message, because I
Right.
don't want to get involved. I don't know what's going on. Why is he not at house shows? Because we don't talk about stuff like that.
Right. That
But
wasn't. Yeah. Go
so
ahead.
here I am, a 20-year-old kid. Warrior picks up. So I don't know if he's got caller ID or what. Maybe he does. I don't know. I didn't ask. But I was like, "Hey, is Gary around?" He's like, "No." We're like, and I already use Warrior. Like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Well, um, so the word is you're not attending your house shows." And Bob Ryder got a hold of me. He's like, "What else is going on? Tell me what's being said." So I told him everything that I was reading. He's like, "All
Right.
right." which is okay. Yeah. I'll call Bob back. I was all right. So sure enough, he called Bob back. They did an interview and Bob posted it without WWF's permission because he wasn't supposed to do it. Then I read about the Jim Ross hotline saying that Warrior was in their doghouse. So I contacted Warrior, like, hey, here's what Jim Ross said in his hotline. You're in their doghouse. He's okay. So then he goes on Grandstand, posts a message about, standing up for what he believes in and all that. He goes, if this puts me in your doghouse, and so be it. Oh, he said something about on the money-making hotline, if I'm in your doghouse, and so be it, bow wow and kiss my ass. And I'm like, oh shit, I must have helped him with that because he didn't know until I told him.
Right.
So, but I saw the username, which is the WARR in capitals with the U in capital, and then NIV in lowercase. So War University basically was his ALO screen name, and I already knew it. So I post because people were wondering, is this real? I was like, yes, it's real. It's his. So now the secret's out. That's his email. People are hitting him up.
No fuck.
He actually had to turn off his messages off, not his emails, but his direct messages. So you couldn't because I'm sure he's getting bombarded, but he still allowed me to message him and stuff like that. And whenever I sent him an email, he would reply either within minutes or within 24 hours. Every email I sent, he would send me back.
Wow. He saw you online. He saw in the header because that's what happened. I emailed him after everything we dealt with. I don't remember, like 2004 or 5 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he finally, I saw a reply. I don't even months later. He said, "God damn it! Put your name in the header. I'll get right back to you." It's like And I didn't want to bother him because these guys goes, "How many?" Yeah. So anyway. Yeah.
No, I didn't put my name in the header, but he saw my screen name, which was Warrior MT, which is my initials of my name. So he already knew who I was. But that's how he knew. And then of course, he was gone. And I want to say around September, October of '96, Dana, who was his girlfriend at the time. Oh, I need to back up. I forgot something, another story on that. The comic book. In January, they sent me a comic book sample that they wanted me to put on the internet. Like, I don't have a scanner. And the scanner Sac State is not big enough for this photo. So I was like, I'll just go to Kinko's and get it done. And I can scan the merchandise catalog. And he gave me like a sheet of things to say in print, like the slogans and just the wording, the message that you wanted out there. So I went to Kinko's to get it scanned, and Ron, who's like the manager, goes, "Nope, this is copyright material. You can't do it." I was like, "That's my buddy. I'm helping him out." So, well, get him on the phone. I was like, "All right." Got him on the phone, and I was like, "Hey, it's me." He's like, "Well, what's going on?" I said, "Well, there's a little issue." What the fuck? I was like, "Well, here's what's going on. Get me on the phone." I was like, "All right, here, Ron, you can deal with him now." So they hashed it out, and I think he talked to Dana as well. And then they sent the fax mentioning my name, the contents of the comic book, what it looks like, the colors, that he owns it, that I have his permission to get it scanned. And I still have the fax to this day. Because I asked Ron, I was like, "Don't throw that away. I'm keeping it."
Right.
Because no one's going to believe this story unless I have that fax too. So
that's awesome. I know you've told me, remember it a while back, but it's just to hear it again, and that's awesome. It's
really awesome.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I was 20 years old. I mean, think about today. Look at everyone who's doing podcasts with like Ted DiBiase, Jake Roberts, Demolition. Nobody was. There was no podcasting back then. Nobody was working with a wrestler back then. It was just me, and me to work with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. You lucked out. Yeah, I don't say it's just luck, but you were at the right place at the right time with the right information, and you proved yourself, your honesty and your integrity. And Warrior, that's huge for him. It is. Yeah, you don't games. That's why he had issues with his wrestling career, because there wasn't so much him. It was all the games, and he didn't like it.
Right.
So.
Right. I was always up front with him and stuff, and he was up front with me and honest. And
that he was blunt and honest.
He was very blunt. I'll give you one example. This is late about August, fall '99. Okay. I was already writing for WoW magazine, And he even gave me some stuff about what's going on with him in WCW. So we got to publish that somewhere. And I was working for Bill Apter at that time as well. And with Blake Norton, who was with the Backpipe Report, we both went to WOW Magazine, eventually to IGN Wrestling. And I told Warrior, because he knew I dropped out of college twice. And he always encouraged me to go back to college and finish and do something. And I told him I'm doing all this wrestling stuff now. It's like a side hustle, basically. I was offered a full-time job with IGN based in San Francisco by Old Candlestick Park, home of the 49ers. And the interview was just basically show up, give us a tour. We went to Red Robin for lunch and they offered us the job, $50,000 a year. Back then in 99, $50,000 a year was about $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
So just to write about wrestling, $100,000 a year, imagine that. And I turned it down. I said, no, I'm going to finish college. How about if I do part-time, just work remote from home? So they agreed to $400 a month, $100 a week. So I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah,
But they also allowed me to fly to different states and they pay for my airfare, my hotel, my food, things like that. But I reached out to Warrior about it and he's like, oh, okay, cool. But remember, life is bigger than pro wrestling. You got a bigger life ahead of you. I can't tell you what it is. Just my name connected to him got me these jobs because people knew who I knew him. He knew me. Like I met Dave Meltzer at an all pro wrestling event in Hayward. And I'm in what we call the APW garage, is where the ring is, where they hold the events. And Meltzer comes up to me, he goes, hey, you're Warriors guy. I'm like thinking to myself, I have a name. But I was like, yeah, that's me. So that's the first time I met Dave Meltzer.
You've been called way worse than Warriors guy.
And here's the question. Do you know my good dear friend or heard of Don West before?
Yeah, I've heard of Don West. I believe he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, he's I'm actually I'm very close friends with his wife Terry.
Oh, okay.
And he moved here to Pacific Northwest. There's a hockey team called the Wenatchee Wild, and he immediately he did everything with what he did on TNA. And I first saw him events prior, and so when I first saw him, he came up to me, and I went over to him, and he gave me this necklace, signed a couple of autographs for me. I have a couple of his from his memorial service. They, instead of doing a regular brochure, they put together little playing cards, and it has all of when he started from all of it and stuff. But long story short, yeah, I was pretty very, very close to Don West. Unfortunately, I never got to get him on my podcast because he was always busy. But he was on the radio station here. I met Hulk Hogan. I met Jeff Jarrett, the Hardy Boys. I also met Rob Van Dam as well. So I met quite a few wrestlers, but he was awesome people. Awesome people.
See, it's interesting you mentioned that you know Don and you want him on your show. Now, going back to my story, I've known Warrior all these years. I work for all these magazines, websites. I never asked Warrior to interview him. I just never thought of it. I was like, no, he's like a friend. I don't want to interview him.
Yeah.
I don't want to come out like I'm using him or something, you know?
Yeah. True. That is a good point.
Yeah, so we always kept in touch. And I remember, like I said, around summer 99, I asked him like, hey, okay, I'm back in school, but I want to exercise and get in better shape.
You got out of shape a little bit during that couple of years, right? You went out of shape for a while.
Oh, no, that's later down the road. That's later.
Oh, sorry.
At this point, I'm just like Dominic Mysterio. I'm just a twig, you know?
Okay.
So,
sorry, I just kind of remember the story.
That's okay. So now I'm like 120 pounds, just soaking wet. And so Warrior replied, he's all right. I'm going to give you a list of questions and I want you to answer everything. And then I'll get back to you in a couple of days. I was like, all right. So
when you did all the stuff for Warrior, getting his information out, you were paid by Ultimate Creations or anything,
I
correct?
was not paid. Nope.
You did it because you're working. You're Warriors guy, but that was a
Yep.
big deal. You're 20. That's a big deal. Okay, I just want to clarify that because I knew that,
Yeah.
but okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. And I would put my job title as Warriors Online Manager. And he was cool with it. He didn't care. He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead. That's fine. So
Yeah.
I always made sure I checked in with him. Hey, I'm going to do this. Is this cool? And he just
Yeah.
gave me free reins. Oh, no, dude, I trust you. You're good.
Yeah, you
So,
heard it.
yeah, like I said, I never bothered to ask, hey, let me get an exclusive interview with you. I never did that. I didn't care. The thought never crossed my mind to years and years later, like, wow, I could have probably asked him. He probably would have done it, but I never did. Yeah.
I get it. I didn't latch on either. There's years that there's no communication. Then when I did, was it his email. That's when he responded back. God damn it, put your so we can see. Because you got hundreds, thousands a day, a week, whatever emails trying to connect.
Right.
I didn't want to be that stalker fan that met him,
Yep.
great interaction, blah blah blah. So I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I guess,
yeah,
Mike,
yeah, go ahead.
we shared some of these things when we got to know each other before. So I remember it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, there's relatable between our stories with Warrior.
And
Go
that
ahead.
that shows that that's the type of person Warrior is. If you really got to know him.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's the thing a lot of people don't know. They just hear the stories on the internet of like, oh, he was a jerk, he was an asshole, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, maybe because they treated him like one, or they were just afraid of him, or they were jealous of him, you know? But if
Yes.
you open yourself up to him and you can show that you can be, trustworthy, friendly, respectful, he'll treat you the same way.
Positive, not a
Mhm.
downer. That was
Yep.
big with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only time I had him like cuss me out was when I emailed him the answers that he wanted for the workout stuff. And then at some point I emailed him again. He's like, well, what are you doing this for? I was like, well, I want to impress some girls. Like he replied, what the fuck? That's the wrong fucking answer. That kind of thing. I'm like, oh shit, did I piss him off? But that's just the way he is. It's just like a tough love thing. But he
Yeah.
still provided me with workout tips, what to eat and
Mhm.
everything. It was a super long email he sent me. Like, oh my God, it's like reading a chapter out of a book what he wrote me.
What
This
were
is the
some of
former,
the things that he recommended to eat and stay healthy?
gosh, I really can remember. I mean, it was like just stuff like protein and stuff. But the
Okay.
one thing I do remember was because I told him I was taking creatine. He said, get the fuck off of that. He said, you're doing this natural.
Wow.
So
Which
I got
which training? Because obviously I've never worked out.
creatine can give you some energy, but it
Yes.
retains water in your body.
I
Oh,
did
okay.
That's
not
the
know that. I
thing.
used to take
Yeah.
it when I worked out, when I used to work out, and I didn't know it did that. Interesting.
Yeah. So I got off that of me because I was working out with a buddy who was also part of the wrestling business, and he was on creatine. I noticed how big he was getting pretty quick, so I thought I'd do the same. And I told Warrior, this is what I'm doing for exercise, what I'm drinking, eating, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, creatine, that's out. You're going to do it the natural way. So that's what I did. And I think within like, I don't know, 4 to 6 months or so, I went from 120 to 160 pounds. And it was just 40 pounds of muscle I picked up.
Damn.
Did
And
you
you can
impress the
see,
women? You didn't tell him, but the women were impressed at that point.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Mm.
Big time. And then, I was wearing the uniform as well. I told him I went to the Air Force ROTC program. He was super happy about that, going back in college. And that's when he was telling me, your life is so much more than pro wrestling, writing these stories, meeting these guys. Because by April 2000, I connected with AFA and I got to go out there and do a report on this show because one of the family members passed away, which was Gary Albright, I think his name was. And so they had superstars from WWF, WCW, and ECW there. And AFA gave me complete backstage ringside access. His wife got introduced to her. She said, call him Pops. Don't call him AFA. He wants to be called Pops. I was like, all right. And then The Rock was there to do like an autograph signing before the event.
The Who? I've never heard of him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So Alpha made an announcement. He's like, okay, everybody out of the room except for family, you're going to meet The Rock. So I start walking away, and Alpha's like, dude, where are you going? I said, you said only family. He's like, no, come on, Oos. You're going to go meet my nephew first. You first. So I got to meet The Rock because of Alpha. And then I remember later that night, I got to hang out with Alpha Jr. He was like, I don't know, like 15 or 14 at the time. And so I got ringside. I'm taking pictures. I remember the match with Crowbar. He got sent outside the ring near me. And then they're going to do a spot. And Crowbar's got his hair in his face, but he's kind of looking up at me. He's like, move. So I moved because I didn't know what spot they were going to do. I didn't know what was planned. So they did their spot. After the match, I went backstage and I thanked Crowbar. Hey, thanks for watching out for me. He's like, hey, no problem. I know you're doing your job. We don't tell you what's going on. I just want to make sure you don't get hurt.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
so that was cool of them. I interviewed Eddie Guerrero backstage and talking to him about his character and stuff. How did he come up with it? And he told me that's the way he grew up. And then he asked me, because like, hey, you're Mexican American. Be honest with me. Does my character offend you? I said, no, I grew up the same way. He's like, Orale. All right, man, let's take a picture. I was like, but I'm media. I'm not supposed. Who cares? Come on, let's take one. So we took a picture together. I was like, all right, if I take a picture with Eddie, I'm going to take one with everybody else I interview. So Nicole Bass, I interviewed her. She said, okay, we'll take a picture, but let me put you in a headlock. I was, all right.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, interviewed Chris Jericho. We took a picture together, and then Rikishi. And then I remember coming home. I'm on the drive towards downtown Sacramento on the way home from the airport. I get a phone call, and it's Rikishi. And he's inviting me to go to San Francisco for Samoan Flag Day to learn more about their culture, meet his family, and everything.
Wow.
So, and everybody knows I'm connected to Warrior too. So,
right. That opens the door. You've said before, you understand that, how that works. But some of these other guys, for whatever reason, they liked you.
Well, that's the thing, because they liked Warrior too. Because if they didn't like him, they wouldn't like me.
So they put you off. Yeah, I understand that. I get
so I'll give another example. I'm in that ALO chat room, and this woman I become friends with, she and I are just striking up conversations and stuff, wrestling, baseball, whatever. She's a Dodgers fan. I'm an A's fan. So, opposing team fans, it comes together that way. We just talk shit to each other. But she told me, because I told her, oh yeah, I'm going to WWF, a house show in Stockton, which is about maybe about 45 minutes south of where I live. She's, oh, you should meet my husband. I was like, oh, who's your husband? She goes, he's a referee and he's a timekeeper. I was like, okay, sure. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what she looks like, but I was like, all right, cool. And I told her where I was going to sit. And sure enough, during the show, this guy comes up to me with his WF ring gear. It's Mark Eaton, who's a timekeeper. As you know, he's the guy that threw the beers at Stone Cold. So he introduces himself. We start talking. He's like, hey, man, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Say, hey, how would you like to come to the show in Fresno in a few days? I was like, I don't have any tickets. He goes, I'll get you some tickets. I'm like, all right. He's like, I'll see if I can get you backstage too. I was like, all right, can I bring a friend with me? He's like, yeah. He's like, but there's one catch. I was like, all right, what's that? You have to wear your Warrior University hat. And this is January of 97. He's already gone. And I'm like, am I being ribbed here? Like, what's going on here? I'm like, all right, I'll wear it. I wore the hat. Sure enough, got great seats. It's like watching it on TV. And then I go to the backstage area, and sure enough, they got me back there. It was Blackjack Lanza who cleared it. And years later, I found out on Jim Cornette's podcast that Blackjack was Warrior's favorite agent. So now I'm putting the two together. Maybe that's why he wanted me to wear the Warrior University hat and get me back there as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
So I had Stone Cold walk by me at the backstage door open. There's Triple H giving me like a mean look. They're trying to stay in character. But I got to meet like Too Cold Scorpio and Terry Bam Bam Gordy when he's the executioner, Paul Bearer.
Damn.
And then right when intermission's over, the matches are starting, and I
Yeah.
can hear somebody tell Owen and Davey, "You guys are up next," and I hear Davey Boy going, "Owen, what up next?" You know, in his accent, and I'm like turning
Right.
around like, "Holy shit!" Owen Hart and Bulldog are standing right behind me watching the next match after intermission because I'm still backstage. I had no idea they were behind me the whole time.
Damn.
It's too funny.
Mhm.
So you see, nothing happened with you with any wrestling situation, any stories or anything?
So
Right.
there's one story I'll share here where everything's been good except this one was bad.
Okay.
Okay,
So
we got to hear.
this was I think January 97, I believe. And so there was a promotion out of Las Vegas, the NWC, which Warrior was a part of in summer 95 when he faced Honky Tonk Man. So I emailed the NWC. I said, "Hey, I noticed you guys are in Sacramento. I'd love to cover your event for, X, Y, and Z, because I write for all these different websites and newsletters. I can, get the card out, get that
Yeah.
sort of thing." He's like, yeah. I talked to a guy named Ed, and somehow I got connected to TC Martin, who's a promoter. We spoke on the phone, and I never told Warrior that I connected with TC. I was like, I don't want to bring up any bad blood between them. I'm just trying to do business, and that's it.
Right.
So TC asked me if I could hand out flyers for the upcoming event and put them on, like hand them out to people in the parking lot, put them on their windshield, that sort of thing. I'm like, is can we do that? Because this is at WCW Nitro at
Yeah.
Arco Arena. I'm like, I don't think we can do it. Can I? Oh yeah, you can. Go to this place, go pick up the flyers and go hand them out. I was like, all right. So I started handing them out, and then security stopped me, like, you can't do that. It's like, well, I got the okay. He's like, no, he doesn't work for WC. No, come with me. I go down to security. Security went back. And then I see them talking to Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. And then they're just down the hallway from me. They just kind of like look over the side and look at me, look at security, look at me. Security starts walking back to me, goes, "You know what? They're going to let you go. You look like a young kid. You didn't know any better. Just leave the
Right.
flyers with us and then go watch the show or go home or something." I said, "So I'm not in trouble?" He goes, "No, they're cool with you." I was like, "All right." So I call TC. He doesn't pick up his phone. I email Ed, like, "Dude, what the
What's up?
hell? This just happened to me." And no one says anything to me. So I go to the show and I go to Will Call to get my ticket. And I was told there's no ticket for me. So I go to the backstage area, to the back door, the back of the arena. I go up to security. I tell them who I am. I'm here. I help TC. He's like, "Oh, TC gave me orders that you're not allowed in the building."
Oh wow.
I'm like, "What
Wow.
the hell?"
Good guy.
So I'm like, "This is bullshit." So I walk down the steps, walking towards the sidewalk, and this guy stops me. He goes, "Dude, I just overheard everything. That's fucked up, man. Come with me." I'm like, "Okay." And he goes up to security. He goes, "Hey, this guy's with me. You're going to let him in the building." He's like, "Okay." So I go in with the guy, and he takes me to like this certain area by the aisle. He goes, "Hey, this is the family and friends section. You're going to sit here as my family friend. So don't worry about it. You're good with me." I overheard it was bullshit. All right, thanks. That guy was a young Rob Van Dam.
Jesus.
Wow.
He was on the
What?
card wrestling in a tag match, I believe, and he got me in.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yep. I never got an apology from TC. He never replied to me. I talked to Ed that night, and Ed's like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry." So he got me some pictures with some of their indies guys and with the title belts and stuff. He apologized. And I still gave him plugs and stuff online. I was like, you know what? At least Ed was cool to me. RVD was cool to me. And my thing was plugging the young guys. That's what I wanted to do. So,
Right.
like I mentioned with AFA, I went to Pennsylvania. A few weeks later, I flew to Texas, and I got to go to Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy for his TWA, Texas Wrestling Alliance. And before I flew out there, I got on the phone. I got to talk to Daniel Bryanson, whatever you want to call him, Lance Cade, and a few others. Then I flew out there in person. They introduced me. So I'm talking to Brian Daniel for a little bit. He's like, "Yeah, I'm from Seattle, big Warrior fans." Because they knew I worked with Warrior. And I remember talking to Lance Cade. The coolest thing was he told me before or after interview, I can't remember, it's one or the other. He goes, "Hey, dude, I just want to let you know I read your stuff. I love your stuff." I was like, "Dude, thank you. That's so often coming from you."
Right.
And after the event, got to interview Justin Credible, and then got to interview Shawn Michaels for about, I don't know, good maybe 2 hours, I think.
Okay.
And I had a beer with
Wow.
Shawn. And then I asked Shawn, "Can I get a picture of you for the website?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Can I get a picture of me and you together?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, yeah, sure." So we took a picture together as well. And then he invited me back for what he called his Gaga match, which was
Huh.
against Venom, which was Paul Diamond.
Oh
And
wow.
I returned for that. And we had breaking news, which was Michaels is going to wrestle. Well, not really wrestle. It was a street fight. So we broke the news on that. And I also got introduced to Rebecca, who was Whisper of the Nitro Girls, and Baby HBK. So I asked Whisper, "Can I get a picture of you and Baby HBK?" He goes, "Yeah." So I took the picture. We posted online. So another breaking news there for as well.
If I could, do you have any light that you could put on your face? You're
Yeah,
dark. You're just a.
I was
Oh,
gonna say something, but I didn't want to, you know.
no, no, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I just. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
like I said, I can't see myself, so I have no idea what's going on.
but yeah, cool
That's why I said,
story.
okay.
I love this story. So all the stories you're saying is I'm amazed. But
Oh, it gets better. It
oh
gets better,
damn,
man. I'm
the
telling you,
Rob so
this is
far,
just the tip of the iceberg, basically.
so far the I love it all. But that's really cool about Rob RVD because when I
Yeah.
first met him when he was here at the Town Toyota Center, um,
How long ago was
hell
that?
of a cool guy. This was like
Mhm.
back in when I first met Rob Van Dam. That had been like 2012, I think.
Mhm.
And
Well,
I
I'm
was
just
really
going to break
amazed.
in. Mike, there's local. It's called Relentless Wrestling here out of Spokane. We've had a guest on twice now, uh,
Yeah.
Ace, and Rob had come to one of the shows in the last year. So I wasn't at the show, but I'm aware of that. So just talking about this, putting it all together. And
Yeah.
Mike, you know by now, asking for a picture, I know it's the nice thing to do, but that's part of their job. Take pictures with
Mhm.
fans. That gets them all excited. You
Yeah,
know that.
but I'm media though. That's the thing. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to. But I'm like, this
you're
is
the man.
this is like a dream thing. You know, it's just a side hustle for now. I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. I might as
Right.
well just take the picture. Like, who cares at this point? Because about 2 years, no, 3 years later, I went to study journalism and I met an actual reporter and he told me the rules because I was at an A's Giants game in Oakland. He's like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to take pictures. You can't root for your favorite team. If this ever becomes a job to you, then get out." And I'll never forget that. And yeah, I didn't want to do it anymore. It's like I left the whole wrestling stuff around 2002. So
Right.
the last person that I really want to interview, because I interviewed a lot of the young guys, like I said, the Lance Cades, the Daniel Bryans, Shooter Schultz, who didn't get very far, like the other two from Sean's camp, Chris Daniels, the Fallen Angel, Frankie Kazarian. I got connected with UPW with Rick Bassman, who was connected to Warrior. So we got to know each other. And then UPW and APW put a super show together in Vallejo, and I attended it. And there was a young guy named Prototype that I wanted to see in person for myself. So I watched him in the ring. And after his match, I went towards the backstage area and introduced myself to Prototype. Said, "Hey, great match. You got the look, you got the charisma. I see big things for you. I'd love to interview you. Here's my name. Here's my business card, blah, blah." He's like, "Yeah, sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much." He was really cool about it. Because, "But I need you to talk to Rick first about it." All right, I'll talk to Rick. Of course, Prototype was John Cena. So
I knew it. Okay.
yeah, I talked to Rick about it. He goes, "Yeah, yeah, we'll set you up, do an interview with him." And a few weeks went by. Rick calls me back. He's like, "So about that interview, I could do it, but here's the problem.
He's gone.
He just got called up to Ohio Valley Wrestling, so it's no longer my call. Now you got to deal with them." I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm leaving this business. This will be my last interview because I see superstar potential in this guy." So I was like, "All right, cool, no big deal."
Damn.
I knew the name sounded right because I remember Robot with anyway. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He did look like a robot with his haircut, the muscle
Right.
build and everything. I was like,
Terminator.
he's not the next Hulk Hogan or next Warrior, but
No.
he's his own person. I saw potential in big time.
Yeah, he was trying to do his thing, and yeah,
Yep.
never a
Exactly.
huge Cena fan, but he's done very well. I just to throw this in there because I can. I told you, Mike, it's very late. Peacemaker, the TV
Yep.
show or whatever. Fuck, he's funny.
Yep. He is.
The
He
writing,
really
and
is.
I had no frigging clue. And I was going, what the? And the woman liked to catch shows, and it was on our list till we ran it up and go, son of a bitch. Anyway,
Yeah.
very, very funny. But see, Foxy, I'm sorry I can't get any guests that know any or have any experiences. I'm sorry. He's going to fire me. Okay, no, he's not.
No, I'm not.
You can't fire somebody you don't pay.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You make all the money. I just show up because I got nothing better to do. No one else wants me. No, that's not it. Some of these stories are new, Mike, and at least I hadn't heard a couple of them. Huh? You've done some.
There's probably stories I've forgotten about, and I just got to remember.
Yeah, sometimes you need that notch. Oh, that reminds me. Oh yeah, you get
Yeah,
older,
like
even older than me.
well, here's another one. I don't remember if I told you this, but Rumble '96. I had
Okay.
WWF contact me and say, "Hey, are you going to be at the Rumble?" Because they knew I was in Sacramento. I was like, "Well, Fresno's not far. I actually have tickets. I'm going to go with a buddy. He's going to drive. We're going to stay at his dorm room, so I don't have to pay for like a hotel. So
Right.
it saves me some money." And he's like, "All right, we should meet up." But remember, though, back then there's no like iPhones and text messaging. You can check your email on the phone. None of that. Back
Right.
then it was just like a pager. That's about it.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Damn.
So I remember checking my email, and it was one of the vice presidents who wanted to meet up with me. And I just didn't have time to keep checking my email at my buddy's house. We took off. So I never got to meet up with him. But after the event, he emailed me, "Hey, dude, sorry, I got busy too. We'll try and meet up sometime, definitely. But hope you enjoy the Rumble, that kind of thing." And of course, a few months later, a month later, Warrior resigns.
Hmm.
Damn.
Yeah,
You're one.
WWF was really nice to me. And this is again before Warrior came back, when he came back, and after he left, they still treated me great, regardless.
Well, once again, I would go with. It's not like you were playing games or trying to play a power trip like some people do, or use it to their advantage or whatever. I can see that. I with what little I did, Rob Brown was very cool. Every time I've talked to him after the fact, and I'm not after anything, and I asked a couple
Yeah.
questions. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I could have asked him for a job. Hey, can I do something for your magazine or your website and be a writer? But I never did. I didn't care. I just want to be a fan. That's it.
That's crazy.
But
Be a fan.
yeah, but I loved for a while, doing stories on the independent scene, talking about the young up and coming guys. That's what I really want to do. So that's
Now,
why, like I said, flew these different promotions to report on them.
and you got paid to do the traveling and everything, so
Yep,
that's
I got
nice.
paid. Yep, exactly.
You didn't have any money earlier.
Yep.
IGN, you mentioned, and I know that from the past, but clarify again for me, please, because I don't remember a lot of stuff. What did you write in the magazines for the website or whatever for IGN? Because I was a gamer.
So yeah, so like for IGN, I would always write on the independent circuit, whatever interviews. But there's one interview I could not make because my midterm happened to be on that day, and that was in San Francisco, an interview with Randy Macho Man Savage. And I know if I went to it and I've missed that midterm and I told Warrior, he would rip me a new one.
Yeah. Yep.
He was like, "Yeah, it's like, you know what? You can talk to Randy another day, but this midterm, you got to pass it. You got to get through school,
Yeah, Warrior knew what was real and what wasn't real, and yeah, what
Yep.
was going to be.
Yep.
That's
But I was told though by two of my colleagues at IGN that Macho Man told him this was the best interview he's ever done. It's like, damn, you guys are so knowledgeable. He goes, yeah, we're wrestling fans. That's why.
yep.
So
That
I wish I was there for it, but oh well.
You not like you had any other interactions with
Exactly.
anything, so whatever. what was I going to ask? Damn it. Yeah, it had to do with Macho and Warrior thing, but yeah. Anyway, I can't remember. It'll come back to me. Did you see both? Yeah, I don't. Mike, were you a gamer? Are you a gamer? I used to be. I used to do the WW SmackDown. I started way back the NES because I still have copies of the stuff, but I
Dude,
played
I
all
got an
sorts.
Atari.
Oh wow. Okay, you
Wow.
got
I still have my original Atari, and then I got the retro version, so I can
yeah.
use HDMI and play on the 4K TV.
Heck
So
yes.
I have the original Nintendo NES 8-bit. I have the 16-bit SNES still. I got the
Damn.
retro versions of them, the retro version of the Sega Genesis and the original, still
Wow.
in the closet with the games.
Wow.
The current versions, I have the new Switch, the latest Xbox, the latest PS5,
Wow.
that sort of thing. I got the games. I just buy them. I barely play them now. I'm just so
Okay.
busy adulting. There's adult responsibilities.
What?
Work. Got to pay for the house.
What?
Food,
I do.
What?
travel.
I play video games when I'm not doing live streaming. I've been live streaming for 10 years,
See,
but I've
I'm not
played.
going to talk.
I played most of the WWE games, but I would say my favorite would be GTA, and I did get to
Which
play
one? Which one?
GTA. I'm excited for
Okay.
the sixth one coming out this year.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
See, I'm
Lost
more
me.
into sports games than I
Yeah,
am
yeah, same
those
here.
type, or,
I
or,
like
or
sports games.
Street Fighter. Games like
Mhm.
Street Fighter, Mario Kart, Zelda.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mario Kart's really fun these days too.
You
So back
guys,
to my question.
I
Go
was gonna say,
ahead.
you guys play Punch Out,
Mm-mm.
That was a long
Mike
time.
Tyson's Punch Out.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
a long time ago.
That was a
But yeah,
fun game, and I got a chance to meet Mike Tyson.
and
It
how's
was
Mike?
that was the one of the coolest experiences ever, because he's a wrestling fan. So when I met Mike, we just talked wrestling. He's like, tell me about, stories about watching, Bruno Sammartino and all those guys back in the day that he was growing up with.
So was
So we
this
must have,
before he was part of WrestleMania with Stone Cold or and
this was
Sean?
after. This was definitely
Okay,
after. This was 2012. Yeah, 2012.
but you already had the connection because his memories and what he grew up
Yeah.
with, and
Yeah. So the before, as I was standing in line, his handler said, "Hey, how do you want to take the picture with Iron Mike?" I said, "Well, I'm just gonna do." He's all, he'll pretend to bite your ear. I was like, "No, I don't want to do that. I just want a regular picture with Iron Mike. He's my favorite boxer. I don't want it to turn into like a parody. I want,
right.
the baddest man on the planet type of picture." So he actually held up the glove that he signed for me because I didn't know what to do. I'm like standing next to Mike Tyson. I didn't know how to like pose or anything. Here, come here. I'll hold the glove. I was like, all right. He was so into it, man. He'll look you in the eyes when he's talking to you too. It's not like, here, let me sign, take a picture. Okay, get on. Next. No.
Yeah, that's
10 solid minutes talking pro wrestling with him.
wow.
Do
There's
you
some
believe?
guys that get it.
Here's a question I have. I've always since you got to meet Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson fighting too. Do you believe that the last? I always have to ask this.
There's
The
a lot.
last boxing fight between him and uh, Jake Paul was rigged.
I think it was. I
I
think
agree.
it was just for money, and I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't count it as part of his career.
Same.
Come on, Foxy. I'm not doing a boxing guy, and I can tell you that it was
Yeah,
staged.
it was. Especially when
Yeah.
he was the part that when I started catching on that it was when he was biting his glove. He
Mhm.
was doing that, holding back from
Yep.
beating
Killing him.
Jake. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Foxy. You should be smarter than that. You can tell. Mike's been around the wrestling business. He knows how things work. Come on. So the reason why I brought it up to do with and just yesterday it's going to be on like cell phones online or something like that. A new WWF and Warriors on it and Hogan's on it. And I don't even know what it's called off the top, but I just saw it. I remember playing a couple of my favorites, All Stars. You ever play that one, Mike?
No, but I've seen it. I've always bought just WWF license type games. You know, the 2K series,
I love the 2K
going back to the
series.
SNES with Royal Rumble, you know, Raw, that sort of thing.
WWE.
I did buy the AEW video game. I mean, it was okay, but nothing like
Nothing
the
into it.
WWE series. I love the WWE series video game.
Mhm.
Really
I haven't
good.
played the new one.
And there's characters that they bring on, you know, some of them that they take off and then they bring them on and then take them off, bring them on. But I love that video game. One of my favorites.
Nice.
Absolutely. Not
Mike,
too
I
crazy for Madden, but WWE, yes.
Oh, I love Madden.
haven't played for years, but every
Yes.
year I had to have.
Especially when my Niners beat the Seahawks.
Screw you, Mike. I'm out.
Hey, watch it, watch it, watch it.
It's sad. The thing is, I was actually a 49er fan after Montana and Steve Young because of Warrior. Do you know that? I'm sure I did tell you that years ago, but
Mhm.
the Maniac colors. I had been on the road doing what I was doing musically, and
Mm-hmm.
had started getting back into football. I was Namath fan, or Joe Namath way back in the day when I was really,
Yeah.
really young. Then Seahawks came around '76. The latch on them, not knowing that they're going to suck forever, and then was on the roads. Didn't have time to watch football. Got back into it. What team should I pick? So Ultimate Maniacs. Yep, Niners, and then went back to the Seahawks. That was good. Mike. Pick on me. Hurt my feelings.
Gotta throw a little jab every once in a while.
Oh, please. I like
Do
them.
I believe that we could repeat this year? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it'd be nice and stay. Yeah, but we'll
It would be
see.
awesome. Yeah, we'll see.
The only thing I didn't like about the Niners this year is after they get the whining that comes from fans and even some like the head coach kind of thing. It's like, man up, shut up,
Mhm.
get better. I mean, we've suffered forever because we sucked. So this is football.
Yep.
Did you
The only
ever?
coach that I don't like that's in our division would be the Rams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
uh, Mike, Fox, I don't know if you've heard this one, and Mike, you might have more insight to this question. I actually saw where NFL's kind of can be. There's some WWE things writing wise that coincidentally, so they know who's winning. Have you heard about that?
No, first time I've heard of this.
I saw
What
something
the
online.
heck?
Yeah, there's something online. I've had this one on Facebook is a couple different guys that followed and would point out things, and it was semi legitimate looking. But there's something to do with uh, lawyers and actually where, and it's been a while since I saw it, but basically the NFL did not say, damn me, all the hell. I'll have to look it up to actually, but basically somewhere in court between the NFL and the fan or whatever that was the dispute.
Mhm.
It was not trying to think of how it was worded even, and I can't come up with it. But basically, it could be scripted. Something could come along down the lines where, millions and millions and millions of dollars, and if they're leading fans a certain way with a certain team, and it does. You can see stuff that happens like, well, shit, with back in the what year was it with the Seahawks and the Steelers? The refs.
I believe it's still going on to this day. Like when we've talked about. I don't really watch the NBA anymore since the gambling situation happened. I will not. The only time I turned it on, believe it or not, was during the NBA finals because I wanted to see. I was rooting for the Knicks. I wanted to see the Knicks. Hasn't happened since what 74. I never got to witness the great days that everybody talks about when they had um, all the superstars on their team, and I was really amazed that very excited that they won. The city deserved it. New York deserved it. course, I'm a Yankees guy, but that's the only time I watched NBA this year. Other than that, I will not turn it on.
Go back on YouTube and search the 2002 Western Conference Finals between the Sacramento Kings and the LA Lakers.
Okay.
You're going to see what the refs did. They gave so many foul calls in favor of the Lakers.
Damn.
Like there was one I'll never forget. Kobe Bryant elbows Mike Bibby in the nose, and they call a foul on Bibby. It's like, how do you do that?
Damn.
And I don't know what the free throw numbers were. Like, it was like too much to too little, basically. It was so lopsided. It forced a game 7. And then, of course, we stunk it up at home, game 7, where we missed a ton of free throws. I think it was like 14 or 16 free throws missed or something. So go back on YouTube and watch it. You'll see the controversy in that series, because really the Kings should have won. And had they won, they would have been NBA champions. There's no way the Nets were going to win that series. But we got jobbed in that series. But then again, like I said, we lost game 7 on our own, but it should have never happened.
So you're saying okay, then that answers that. So it's been how the gambling thing started. So you're saying it's been going on way for a very long time until it came to that.
I'm just saying the NBA wanted the Lakers in the finals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Kings took it to them, and we really should have won that series. But Lakers won it. I think they swept the Nets in the finals. Because the Nets had no chance coming out of the East. It was going to be the NBA Finals, really the Kings versus Lakers that year.
Damn.
I don't watch basketball guys so much, but still, if there's tomfoolery going on with the refereeing, and that's determining the outcome of the game or particular games, and winners and losers and championships, money and more money and more money, and yeah.
That's it. Go on YouTube and watch the highlights. You're going to see all these conspiracy theory videos and stuff. It's really big time talked about from back then.
Damn, I love conspiracy. I have to check it out. Love it.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're in anything, Foxy? We talked about this last year on one of the episodes to do with baseball and conspiracies and getting one team in and out. And I'm not a baseball guy per se. Did you reference that? And Mike?
Yes. So, as you can see, I'm a Yankees guy, but I live up in the Pacific Northwest. Also, Mariners guy, Seahawks guy, Cowboys guy too, by the way. But for the most part, when the Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays were playing, there were some fishy stuff going on. They didn't want Seattle to make it to the World Series, which is bullshit because they deserved it. But there's a lot how they had the game 1, and then there's just calls after calls. You could tell there was something going on here. And then, of course, when it came to Toronto and LA, of course, LA won, which we already knew that was going to happen. But there's a lot of crazy crap that was going on with the Blue Jays. And then they also did it when they were playing the Yankees. I have one of my good dear friends that comes in all the time, is one of my mods for streaming and Discord, and he's a huge Yankee guy as well as I am. And we've always talked baseball every now and then, and he even said there was something fishy going on, and I've heard it from a lot of people besides him. But yes, those 2 series, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners, Blue Jays, something was going on. There was some cheating of some sort going behind the scenes.
Some fishy, you said. Some fishy.
Yeah. And what's funny is right after that happened, that was when about a few months prior, or right around the same time when the NBA season started, that's when the whole Portland Trailblazer and all that stuff came about. And then that Porter guy that played for Toronto, he played was able to play basketball, but he's banned for life. He played for the Seattle Superhawks that Gary Payton was assistant coach for this year.
Mhm.
And I was like, it's starting to add up that what I thought was happening was going on. I still think there's stuff going on in baseball, honestly. And especially with the challenging system, they're not, I mean, it could be better. But I still watch baseball. I love watching baseball.
But what
Yeah,
what
me
did you
too.
think was going on, Mike? Do you understand what, and do you agree or disagree?
So I'm cheering for any team that can beat the Dodgers. That's the first thing.
Yeah, same.
So, so there's that. I mean, I watch baseball, but not close enough for the playoffs to see what was going on, like what you've watched, because my team wasn't in the playoffs. So
Okay.
I'll watch a little bit every once in a while. I'll check out the World Series, that sort of thing. I mean, you want to go back to like conspiracies, not even conspiracies. They got caught, which is the Astros, by banging
Yes.
the drums of the
Yes.
trash cans, you know? So,
And who did they cheat out of the World Series to go to the World Series when they won it that year? Yankees. I watched
mhm.
that. I watched that, and I was like, "This is bullshit." And then they won that, and then when they won the other series, the only reason that they won that World Series, the last one, they say, "Oh, Dusty Baker out." No, they already had a stacked roster by the time he came on board.
So it's interesting you mentioned Dusty Baker. I just met him about late May.
Okay.
So,
So, story on that.
please.
Well, got to back up a little bit, but it's after the wrestling stuff. So, like I mentioned, Warrior always told me there's something bigger for you in life. Your life has meaning. You don't want to keep spinning your wheels, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're meant for bigger things. We just don't know what it is, but you'll figure it out. So, I dropped out of college twice, and he knew that. Went back, I earned two bachelors and a master's. And so I got a job, part-time job. It's so political though. It took me 12 years to finally get full-time. Now I've been doing this for
Yeah.
20 years and I love my job. Pays great. I love what I do. It's fun. You get to help people. It gives me a life that I can enjoy myself. And like, for example, I have to travel to Mexico to go see my wife. I've been doing this for 5 years because we're waiting for her visa to be approved. So I got to go down. She can't come up here. If I didn't have this job, there's no way I can help her
Mm-hmm.
fly down there, take nice trips, stay at nice hotels and all that. So
You were just with her, by the way, last week or
yeah, I
recent?
got back last Friday. Yeah.
I
Yep.
pay attention. I pay attention.
Yep. Yeah. We're in the Dominican Republic for about 8 or 9 days and it went by
Nice.
quick. Yep. So that's the second time we've been out there. I'm just tired of going to Mexico. I'm like, I'm all Mexicoed out. We got to go somewhere else. So I want to go to different cities, different states, different countries, but we're limited what we can do for the time being. But
Right.
you know, you talk about conspiracy theories and stuff. I mean, you guys are like, you know, you mentioned the Seahawks, you got the Seattle Sonics, and how back in 2008 they got relocated to OKC to be the Thunder.
Yeah.
So I watched Sonics Gate to learn what happened, and then
I
we
did.
had our own. What's that?
I didn't know there's a Sonic game, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. I actually met the guys. I became friends with them. I flew out to Seattle, hung out with those guys in their hangout spot, and had pizza. They had beer. I had soda. So we broke bread after all the
Yeah.
shit talking. Um, so yeah, they lost their team in 2008. 2 years later, we find out that the NC2A will no longer host their basketball tournaments here in Sacramento because of the arena we had. The lockers are too small. It's not fit for a college team. Well, if it's not fit for a college team, how can it be fit for an NBA team? So, and even the NBA team said, yeah, we need a new arena. So there was a vote.
I remember this. Yes.
It was Q&R. It was in 2006, and it failed 80% to 20%. That's how bad it was. It was going to be like a quarter of a cent sales tax, and people voted no against it. Then we had the Maloofs saying they're going to go to Anaheim and move the team and rename them the Royals. So our mayor, Kevin Johnson, is a former basketball player for the Phoenix Suns. We just had the right person at the right time that could speak the language of the NBA, the language as a politician, the language as a Sacramentan. So the stars just aligned for us, but he flew out to New York City and found a way to give us an extra year to prevent the team from moving. But we had another thing in our favor, which was the NBA lockout. You can't just move a team during a lockout season.
Yeah.
So it bought us an extra year. And that was in 2012, where we had to come up with an arena deal that would satisfy the Maloofs, the former owners of the team, and the NBA. And we came up with a deal. And my job was to pack that city council chamber. And I took wrestling ideas from everything I did in this. So, as you know, like wrestlers wear t-shirts. So like you have the NWO, they have their NWO shirts, right? So I thought, let's do our own version, but black and white. Our shirts would be white with black print because white shirts are cheaper and they pop when you're looking into there and then on television watching this. So the first night we made it known, we wore our Kings jerseys, and the first person walked up, removed the Kings jersey, and just dropped it on the ground. The reason why we did that was based off what DX did with Tyson by ripping off the shirt to show there's a DX shirt. So we took off the Kings jerseys for that. And then because there was no garbage can, my buddy just dropped it because he's a wrestling fan. Because I'm going to do what Medusa did, like dropping the WF title on Nitro. So he dropped the jersey on the ground and said, this is bigger than basketball. So he talked about concerts. That's what we need a new arena. So we went on that platform for this would mean jobs, economic activity, where we're getting local money and then outside money from people outside the city limits, bringing their money to the city coffers, revitalizing downtown, a second economic engine where the previous arena at that time was going to be. So we did all that, and we got the respect of the council and the city administration who was working on the deal, because after we had a non-binding agreement, about a month later, the Maloofs killed the deal. KJ flew out to New York to do a press conference. He had the NBA logo behind him. The Maloofs didn't. So we knew we were on the right side. And then we went to council. We told them we're going to back you guys up. We don't want money going to the Maloofs to build a new, to renovate the current arena. They can do it themselves. That's when the city administration goes, wow, you guys are for real. We're going to trust you. We got your respect now. We're going to let you in on what's going on and what we need from you, what we do with each other's worlds, how we can help each other. So that's how I got connected to them. But I was very connected to the mayor's office because I had a buddy that worked there. So they gave me all the inside info. I already knew what was going on before the media printed anything. And then a year later, they were looking to go to Seattle. And I was told, I think around Thanksgiving, that we would find out in January, there'll be breaking news that they're going to have a deal to move the team to Seattle. And sure enough, it happened. It was done by a food blogger whose dad was the agent of Michael Jordan. So she broke the news. She quickly deleted her tweet on Twitter at the time. And it just got the ball rolling. We're like, okay, this is going to be a sprint. This is not going to be a marathon. We got to get our stuff together. So we polished up the old 2012 deal and kind of revised it for 2013, passed a non-binding deal, went to the NBA Board of Governors meeting in New York City. I actually flew out there for that meeting, standing outside with other Kings fans, but everybody lived in New York City. It was just me and one other guy that flew out there. Seattle only had one representative, one fan. That was it. I got introduced to the potential new owners of the team and then flew back. And then the NBA voted 7-0 on their relocation committee to advise all 30 owners what we should do. And that was on my birthday of all days. So at a press conference, the mayor did a press conference, and then he actually called me up because I'm off to the side recording everything just to remember this. He calls me up. He's, hey, Commissioner Stern, which is David Stern's like, he did this on purpose. He wanted on Mike's birthday. So we're going to sing happy birthday to him. So we did it on live TV. So that caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. And From there, a month later, we went to Dallas, and Commissioner Stern was walking, and I just waved him, "Hey, Commissioner," and he winked at us. And the Seattle reporter, which is Chris Daniels,
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
know. Yep, I know who that is.
he's like, did he just wink at you guys? Like, yeah. And he quickly tweets it out, and Seattle Songs fans are pissed. Like, no, the fix is in. They're going to keep their team. No, it could be ours. It's like, no, it's our team. We had a deal. The ownership walked away. The NBA approved it. Even David Stern was going to give like a 65 million subsidy to help the Maloofs seal the deal. So it was always our team to keep or lose, not Seattle's to win or anything. It's up to us. If we can come up with a deal, it's ours. If we can't, the team moves. So I made friends with the guys from Sonics 8 and all these guys who leading the Seattle grassroots. Yeah, they talk shit, but I can take it personal, and we're still friends to this day. They still invite me to go out there to watch a hockey game. I flew out there though for the Kings Warriors preseason game, but
Wow.
after that was done, we kept the team, but
Mm-hmm.
we saw there's petitioners trying to put this onto a ballot for a vote, which would have delayed the arena. So I did another WF thing here. Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen is the guy trying to buy the team with Steve Ballmer, but Hansen's like the face of it. He's from San Francisco. He's a hedge fund manager, but he grew up in Seattle. He's a big Sonics fan. So we heard through our sources that the money was coming through a source through Las Vegas of some kind of connection. We thought it might be the Maloofs. Like, no, they can't be that stupid. Neither can Chris Hansen. There's no way.
Yeah.
Turns out it was the law firm that represented the Maloofs. So that was the Las Vegas connection that we heard about. So we kept checking the state website, like who is giving money to our opposition? No information was ever found. We kept checking it at midnight, me and this guy. He's like, you know what? Screw it. Let's file a lawsuit. Let's find out who's really behind it. So we did. And a couple of days later, we found out it was a law firm in LA, and they wouldn't tell us who they're representing. So the state of California got involved, said, you better tell us. So they did, because otherwise they get sued. So it turns out it was Chris Hansen who funneled $100,000 to our opposition.
Jesus.
So
What the? And
yeah,
I have to interrupt you for a minute.
go ahead.
My dad I love the Supersonics growing up, and I will never forget the day when my dad came in and started crying at the Sonics for leaving. And we always believed that Seattle will get a team, but I did not like Chris Hansen. I watched the whole thing, and he still freaking wants to build another arena in Seattle, even though Climate Pledge is big enough, which I'm very happy they remodeled it. And I still believe Seattle will, with the new, hopefully we'll find out something later this
Someday.
soon. I'm glad it was somewhat approved, but it'll be interesting. I believe Seattle will get a team back, and we should have.
Yeah,
We should have never
but
been.
Chris Hansen's arena's out. It's not happening because of the street vacation. They wouldn't vacate it. So
Mm-hmm.
I was paying attention to those meetings. And I was curious, like, can you guys get a team or not? And because of that street vacation never happening, and then Chris Hansen it's been reported by Seattle media, he's been blackballed by the NBA because I helped catch him trying to take our team. So because of the lawsuit, but here's the other thing I did. I actually did what DX did when they tried to go to Nitro and go backstage. I actually went to Chris Hansen's office, but instead of bringing guys with me, I brought 3 older women, which we refer to as the Golden Girls. So that way we wouldn't look suspicious. It was just me and a bunch of guys like, no, you can't come in here. But I had 3 older women, no problem, right? When we got to San Francisco, we had our t-shirts on underneath, like regular clothes, like jacket, sweater, whatever. So we have to go by security to go upstairs to get into the elevator. So I'm like, damn, this is as far as we're going to get. We got to get up that elevator, but we can't. We got to get past security. Oldest woman in our group said, no problem. Stand back. I got this. She goes up there. She starts talking to security. Next thing I know, we get the okay to go in the elevator to go upstairs to wherever Hansen's floor was. And I'm like, what the hell did you say to him? He goes, don't worry, we're going up. Let's go see Hanson. So I get my phone out. I said, I want somebody to hold the phone and record this. I don't want them saying that we're being rude, that we're trespassing and causing damage or whatever. I want proof. So I gave my phone to somebody else to hold. And we go in, but then the door's locked to the office. I'm like, come on, are you serious? Next thing I know, these guys open the door and they walk out like I have a meeting. I don't know if they work there or what, but they let us in. So now we're actually inside. We got further than DX did to get into Nitro already. Then we make a quick right. That's where the secretary is. She goes, hey, what can I do for you guys? I said, we're here to see Chris Hansen. She said, oh, okay. Where are you guys from? Sacramento. Oh, I'll see if he's available. She knew right away. He's like, oh my God, how did these guys get in here? So she goes back there. She said, I'll see if he's available. She could have just said, oh, he's not in the office.
Right.
Out comes this guy. His name is Troy. I remember his name because I have a buddy named Troy. He comes out instead of Chris. So, hey, what can I do for you guys? I said, well, we're the group that filed the lawsuit and we bring this newspaper article. Like, we really want him to take back those petitions because he paid for them, so he should be able to take them back. You know, that's all. We'd love to have dinner with him and help him out and bring the Sonics back to Seattle. Wherever we can do. We're just here with the olive branch, you know, that kind of thing. No harm, no foul. It's just business. It's not personal. He's all right. I'll let Chris know. I'm like, okay. So he was there as far as I'm concerned. He just didn't want to come out and talk to us because we caught him in the, you know, with the hands in a cookie jar. So that's one thing I did. That was the DX Nitro thing. But then my phone was like the Goldust GTV. I wanted video from hidden that you couldn't see by holding the phone in by your thigh that I'm recording the whole conversation. So I did that. And then I went out to where the petitioners were trying to gather their signatures. I got my phone out and I kept it at a certain distance, recording not only the conversation, but more importantly, the petition itself, because I don't know what's on it. I want to see what's the language of it and everything. And I got a good video of it, took a screenshot. I went on their website with a couple of my buddies and we looked at the two versions like, this is not the same. The writing is different. The dates are different. So we sent it to the city. The city attorneys looked at it and said, dude, you guys struck gold. Don't say shit. Keep it quiet. Let them spend all their money. They're going to waste time. We're going to win this. Plus, we have the city charter on our side. So we acted stupid. We didn't want to go to the meeting and go, hey, yeah, they made mistakes. They should start over. No, we kept it to ourselves. So by the time it was done, the judge threw out the petitions because of the flaws we saw. And we're not attorneys, and we even figured that out. And their attorneys didn't.
Wow.
Damn.
So use a few ideas from wrestling on that.
That's crazy.
Funny how wrestling can come into help. It can help you in real life. Crazy.
Yeah. So imagine characters, storylines, like why reinvent the wheel? Let's just use it for this here and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
That's crazy.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Mike sucks. I've tried. Okay, I didn't know. It's, geez, I've heard some of these, but not all of them. Wow.
I knew of the story, but to see now the other side is exactly what's going on. It all makes sense now.
well, I'll show you what I got for this. I wish I can like reverse it, but
Okay.
this is in my home. So that's the shovel from groundbreaking.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's the construction vest when they're building the arena.
Wow.
This is a basketball sign by everybody who saved the team, from David Stern to the city council to the owners of the team. They all signed it for me. This is dirt from groundbreaking. More dirt. Then I got a hard hat with the old logo and then a hard hat with the new logo, because this was from my 40th birthday. They allowed me and some friends to get a tour of the arena. So they gave me a hard hat as a birthday gift, and then the vest as a birthday gift. And then at groundbreaking, the shovel was given to me along with the new hard hat.
Damn.
So this is all in here.
What logo do you like better, the old one or the new one?
The old one, yeah, the
I
old
do
one. I mean,
too.
the new one is like from the old one from the 80s, but I love the Shield version. And I actually have that. That was given to me as well, like a huge one. It's sitting in my office on the wall.
Do you think they'll ever go back to the old one?
I doubt it. No, I don't think so. The NBA wants these simple circular logos, is what they want.
Basketballs.
Yeah, pretty much. It's, I guess, easier for them. I don't know, but that's how it is.
Oh goodness. Uh, you skipped on, or maybe I didn't catch it, but we talked earlier. So I just want to bring this up because I know Foxy did. What are you working on right now? In what? Yeah, because I see
So,
stuff.
all right. So before I get to that, I'll just mention a few more things about this whole thing. I have the respect of the city politicians, the
How'd you do that?
administrators,
But you
business
respect
leaders.
them. Sorry. Wait,
What's that?
sorry. Smart ass. Go ahead. Yeah,
Um,
you man. Charlie Brown. Thank God.
yeah. I get invited by the team to sit courtside in the owner seats every season.
Screw you.
I've met players, even players of the opposing team,
Not
coaches.
true.
I've organized airport welcomes for our rookies. So, like, I've been doing this since 2011,
Okay.
and I just got a text today with the information that our players will arrive on Sunday, and we'll be able to greet the players. We do this every year. We're the only NBA team fans that do this, where we greet the players at the airport. And
Lance. Okay.
yep. And so, with all of that, there's the whole Oakland A's situation where they're looking to relocate. And I go to A's games just once a year, always for my birthday, because I've been an A's fan since '84. And so I met up with a guy who happened to sit right in the second deck. I'm on the first deck. He's right above me. So we met for the first time. And then he introduced me to one of the media guys covering the team and what's going on. We started talking, and he knows about what we did in Sacramento. I was like, hey, we need something like that in Oakland. You know, can you help us? I'm like, dude, I don't live here. This is not my fight. I'm not really not interested. But I was like, they kept like pushing and pushing and pushing. I was like, all right, look, here's what I'll do. I'll share what we did, how we did it. But ultimately, all you're doing is just backing up the city council, your politicians. That's all you're doing. If you can back them up and help them, that's your role. Otherwise, fans aren't going to make a difference in this. You just got to back up the politicians, the businesses, and all that. So I told them how to organize and everything. And I was a part of some of those meetings with the council members on Zoom, but I kept quiet. I just kind of listened. And I heard all these things. Like, I remember December 22, one of the council members told us, yeah, there's money. We got the money. We're going to make a deal. It's going to happen. Well, December 22, fast forward to April 23, the A's are going, hey, we're going to Vegas. It's a done deal. It's over. So that council member either lied to us or they were lied to, because they were like almost $100 million short. So, with that being said, the following year in April of 24, I'm in New York City now. I organize road trips for NBA games. Usually there are about 40 to 50 of us, but New York is a little tough. So it was about maybe 10 to 12 of us that went. So we flew in to do Kings at Knicks at MSG, then off to Brooklyn for off to Boston for the Celtics game, and then back for the Nets game. But as soon as we landed in MSG, I'm on the subway. I get a text from that same media guy. He's like, hey, I heard there's a press conference today that the A's are going to play in Sacramento. I was like, dude, I don't know. He's like, can you find out? I'm like, all right. Just like Bob Ryder asked me, hey, can you get a hold of Warrior? Like, dude, I don't want to be a part of this. I was like, all right. So I asked the buddy, he goes, yeah, it's going to start at like 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something at the ballpark. So I sent the message back. He's like, damn, I got time to shower, eat, or not. I got to get on the road because he's from the Bay Area. They did it on purpose so nobody from the Bay Area can make it there. He's the only one because of me. So we get to our hotels, and right after the hotel, we get a private tour of NBA headquarters. And I asked the NBA, how do you get a tour here? You don't. You have to know somebody. Otherwise, you don't come in here at all. So that's the connection I have with the Kings. They made it happen. So I think it was, yeah, fast forward another year. I find this because I decided to go, I want to go to the game. It's the first game of the season. I hate relocations. It sucks, but it's a business. I get it. But I want to go to the first game. It's going to be something historic. So I entered a lottery. I won tickets and I paid for my own tickets. And so I invited 3 of my friends to come with me. They just got paid for the other 3 tickets. So we did it. We're at the game. I get a text message saying, hey, do you want to come up to the suite? I'm like, dude, free hot dog and soda? I'm there. That's all I wanted. So I told my buddy, hey, you want something? He goes, yeah, I'll bring something back for you. I'll be right back. So I go up there and I found out we're in what's called the party suite, which is like 4 suites combined. So I walk in and it's just a bunch of politicians. Everyone's dressed in their suits. And I'm like, I'm in my A's jersey. I'm like, what the hell? There's no A's fans. It's just politicians and stuff. So I get introduced. I knew some people already and some people I didn't. So they introduced me around. I'm just like, I don't care. Where's the hot dogs at? Where's the sodas? So I got it at my lunch and I talked to somebody. I was like, hey, I'd like to introduce my friends downstairs if you got some time. She goes, yeah, sure. Just finish your hot dog. I was, all right. So I finished it. I was like, okay, I'm ready. You ready to go? So, well, I'm waiting on somebody. I was all right. So I didn't question it. I waited about maybe 5-10 minutes. Like, fuck it. Who are we waiting for? She goes, John Fisher. A's owner, John Fisher? Yeah. Ah, okay. I'll wait. And if you ever watch Empire Strikes Back,
Yes.
do you remember that scene when Lando took Han, Leia, and Chewie, and they were going to have dinner?
Mm-hmm.
And they open the door, and guess who's there?
Darth.
Exactly, with Boba Fett. That's how I felt when that door opened and John Fisher walked in. I was like, wow, this is really happening. I can't believe it. I'm actually in the same room as the A's owners. This is crazy. So I'm just listening on what's going on. I'm trying to hear. I'm seeing him talk to people, shake hands and stuff. But then he gave somebody a hug. I was like, that's strange. And he gave that person a hug. And then I'm just trying to listen and stuff. I have my water, just being incognito. All of a sudden, I hear the person go, yeah, I helped keep the Kings here, helped get the arena built with Mayor Johnson. And they're looking around, that guy right there, he was a part of it. He helped big time. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, come over here. And John Fisher, like, hey, come here. Nice to meet you. I was like, hey, nice to meet you, sir. So I'm just being polite and respect. I'm not going to say, fuck you for moving the team or sell the team. I'm not doing that. It's just, I'm not a teenage kid. Be respectful. He was respectful to me too. So I just sat there and just listened to him and talked. And then it was time to end the conversation. Like, hey, let's take a group picture. I was like, oh, I'll take it. I got my phone ready. They're like, no. I want you in the photo. I'm like, not a good idea. Not a good idea. They're like, no, come on. So Fisher takes the phone on my hand, goes, here, I'm going to give it to my attorney. He'll take it. I'm like, oh, crap, that's your attorney? All right, let's do it. Let's do the picture. So we take the group picture. I smile like a good soldier. And I send the picture to the person so they can have it on their phone for memories. And I go downstairs, like, talk to my friends, like, dude, you will not believe what just happened. I got more than just a hot dog and a soda and even a chocolate chip cookie. I met John Fisher and got a picture with him, and the vice president of the A's too. They thanking me for the support. I'm like, dude, that was so crazy. I go home. I go on X. I get a private message from the media. They're like, dude. I'm like, what's up? Was that you with John Fisher? Like, what are you talking about? Dude, was that you? I'm not going to like judge you. Like, what the hell are you talking about, man? It's like, dude, I saw the picture. I'm like, what picture? I'm just playing stupid. I'm like, where's he getting it? Because I didn't post anything. It's like the picture that the senator posted. I'm like, oh, because I sent the senator the picture. I didn't know she was going to post it. I was like, all right, here's what happened. So I told him everything. I go to bed. I go to work the next day. By noon, my phone is blowing up. And I have got nuclear heat. We're talking Hulk Hogan turning heel at Bash of the Beach heat. Like people throwing shit in the ring. That's the heat I got.
Oh,
Oh
geez.
my gosh.
You loved it. You enjoyed it. You liked turning heel, did you?
I wasn't turning heel though. That's the thing.
I know. I
It's
get
like
it, but
it's more like, you know what? It's like Bret Hart. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like
has
okay,
it.
Sacramento's gonna be Canada. Oakland is gonna be the U.S. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I'll play Bret Hart then. That's what it is. Because I had to explain to people, I had no idea he was going to be there. I bought my own ticket. I just wanted to be a part of something historic. But
Sure.
I also met with politicians and people about a month before this because I want to know what's really going on because the Oakland officials lied to us. And I'll never forget December 22nd when that official told us there's a done deal. It's going to happen. We have the money. No, they didn't. And I don't like being lied to. So I want to find out for myself. Are they really going to be here? Are we trying to take the team? Are we trying to get expansion or what? So they told me, I was like, look, do you guys have any money for a public private partnership? So I talked to city admin from the King stuff who already retired. What should we do? Gave me some feedback. I gave it back to the city admin, met the city manager, gave them some ideas. They looked into it. They're like, yeah, we can do a TIF district. We can raise $1 billion.
Sure.
I was like, wow, because you got Portland with 800 million and Salt Lake City with 900. You're telling me we can do $1 billion? All right, if you're serious about this, then I'll help. But if you're full of shit, I want nothing to do with this. And I want to make sure that whatever deal we have, this is not going to go against the general fund or screw over taxpayers. As long as we do this the right way, you got me and my friends on board. That yeah, we're going to do a TIF district. It's not going to affect the general fund. It's only tax money to be created within that district. That's it. Just like, you know, what we're doing with the Republic FC stadium in the rail yards. So I was like, all right, so I've known this for a year. I just kept my mouth shut.
Right.
And people were like, nah, Sacramento has no chance. They don't have any money. Yeah, city of Sacramento doesn't, but West Sacramento does, which I had no idea about till I had somebody be with me for lunch and we broke bread and we talked to get to know each other. I understand the political aspect of all this. And so now I'm helping. And now we're getting to part of your question. I get invited to Aid games. I go to suite every time. It's an invite, so I don't pay for tickets. And the A's have been great partners because I'm a veterans counselor and they have provided, like the Kings, the Republic FC, and the River Cats, the A's have also given my veterans free tickets to go to games, 30 tickets at a time. I got other colleges involved and other veteran centers. They've all gotten free tickets too. Why? Because the people at the A's know who I am and they put us at the front of the line and gave us the tickets in front of others. The other thing they did for me too, I just turned 50. So I asked a buddy with the A's, hey, the A's are in town. Can I throw the ceremonial first pitch? And they let me. So
Oh,
I have this as
show off.
my to go on the
Oh
field to throw the
my
first pitch.
gosh.
That's the ball
Show
I
off.
threw.
I hate
So
you.
And who's that? Who's that
you
signed
see,
by?
it's happy 50th is from Bobby Crosby, who was the rookie of the year for the A's. So he caught my pitch.
Oh,
So they also
damn.
gave us over 30 tickets for my family and friends to attend the game for free.
Oh, that's the
So
sheriff. That's all.
Damn.
I hate you.
So
I can't.
I have a question. I have a question here. As
sure.
you, as an
Oh,
A's fan, what do you think about? I can't remember his name, but he's one of my favorites. I love how he hit the one that was, that was the one that was Rookie of the Year last year, right? That hit
Okay, just say Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a story on that, but go ahead.
What do you think about how good he is? Like, I mean, he's
That
pretty amazing.
that guy's awesome. He should be an all-star. He should be starting.
I
He
agree.
really should.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
I'm
not
right
getting
behind.
the votes, which sucks. But he's got to make a reserve some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you a quick story on Kurtz.
Okay.
He won Rookie of the Year. As soon as I found out he won Rookie of the Year, I reached out to the mayor. I said,
Mhm.
hey, we need to honor Nick Kurtz for winning Rookie of the Year. We have to show Major League Baseball that we can treat these players like the players they are. You know, let's take
Mhm.
care of them. So let's roll out the red carpet. So she loved the idea, talked to the A's. They loved it. So this was back in November when he won it. Now fast forward to January, we had it at City Hall. We invited a bunch of kids, all these little league kids, to come out for the event. It was a private event because we didn't want a bunch of people coming in just to get a picture or autograph with Nick Kurtz. Just kept it small. They did a proclamation. It's Nick Kurtz Day. They presented with a plaque, took a group photo, and then that was it. It was over. And as they're exiting, I went up to the mayor and said, "Hey, since this is my idea, you got to let me meet Nick Kurtz." She was like, "Come on." So I told my friend, "Come on, come with me. Let's go." Because my friend came with me. He's a huge A's fan. We go to games all the time. He loves Kurtz. So we go in, and there's Nick Kurtz. We're just kind of waiting. And then the mayor goes, "Hey, I want you to meet somebody." She introduces me. I get my phone out. And then I hear somebody in the back go, "Oh, I know who he is. I'll take the picture." Turns out it's a council member who's now a mayor of Sacramento who voted against the arena for the Kings, but he knows who I am. He took the picture for me. And then afterwards, like, "So I see you and the mayor are friends." I'm like, "Yeah, we are. So I can't wait to work with you on this project. I know we're on opposite ends for the Kings, but this one I'm fully on board." I was, "All right, cool." So I got to meet Kurtz, got my picture with him. It was my idea. I just never told him it was my idea. I just asked him, "When did you find out?" He goes, "Oh, I found out last Friday." I was thinking, dude, I've been planning this since November, but
Damn.
I didn't want to tell him. And then, yeah, so I met Kurtz. I got a picture with him. I'm sure Victor can probably share it with you, but
Okay.
that was awesome to meet him and being able to throw the first pitch, go to all these games. I get introduced to all kinds of people. The A's know who I am. And so what Victor was trying to allude to, like, what are you doing now? My next project is to help West Sacramento get a major league baseball team permanently here. So
I
we just did
agree.
our press.
I agree
We just did
with
our,
that.
yeah. So we had our press conference in May. And so I rounded about 50, 60 people to attend. And we all got seats in front by the stage. And the mayor and the local investor both gave me a shout out by name. I was the only person to get a shout out twice. And we chanted Sacramento at the very end. I planned for it because I asked the mayor, "When you end your speech, what's the last thing you're going to say?" And he told me, I said, "Okay, this is what we're going to do. So I just need to know that cue of what you're going to say so I can tell the group." So he said what he had to say. He paused, and then we broke out with a loud Sacramento chant that the media picked up on and made it go viral. And now the mayor's already used the video of it, and the Greater Sacramento Economic Council's used it. And so we're doing some other plans here that I had some ideas and the biggest plan just got finalized today. And that is,
awesome.
we're going to attend the last home game of the season. We're going to have 100 of us in left field, and we're going to be super loud for that game. We want the media to record this, get it out there so it gets back to New York City, to Major League Baseball. Like, wow, look at these fans. So we're going to do that and a few other things. So um, I'll tell you about other things later, but that's the biggest thing we're doing right now to end the season.
Damn.
Sounds you're boring.
And we're not, dude, we're not even paying for the tickets. It was bought and paid for by a group that wants to help us.
Damn. That's awesome.
We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars that we didn't have to, come out of pocket ourselves.
Wow.
What do you think of Mike? He sucks, right?
No,
Yeah.
I love this. I love this guy already. Dude, probably actually one of my favorite guests that we've had on. One of them. Yes. There's been several, but you're up there.
Yeah.
Up there.
Cool. Appreciate it.
And so the year that I went to Sacramento, when I went to Sacramento to see the River Cats, was a year. I'm a Yankees guy. I'm not a Boston guy, but it was a year that one of their all-time greats was trying to get back into baseball, and they had a wig. I don't know where the wig's at, but I have it somewhere. Never been opened, and it was he was starting to get back into baseball. I was there at the game when he played for a couple innings. I can't. always hit home run. Not he had long
Come on.
dreads. He had long dreads.
I never
Dreads.
how many millions. I don't know.
Trying to think
Come on.
somebody with dreads back in the day. What team was he on?
He was coming back to baseball, and the Sacramento River Cats signed him to, or the A's signed him to a minor league deal, for a season or two, or just a season.
Don't remember, to be honest. I'm trying to remember somebody like that.
And
Can't you Google that, Foxy? Come on, Foxy.
Let me Google that.
Yeah, let me know because I'm curious of the name now. Like, who had dreads back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Well,
Because life has gone by so fast. Like, I don't remember so many things, but my experiences I'll always remember because they're so unique. Not everybody gets to do this. And this goes back to what Warrior told me from day one. Your life has going to have some kind of meaning. You're going to make a difference in people's lives. I believe in you. Get back in school. You're going to figure it out. Now you saw the things I got to experience, which is crazy.
how's that make you feel? I have a clue about that, but what's that mean to you now
Found it.
with him being gone?
I mean, think about it. Think about being,
Oh,
what's his name?
Hold on.
Manny Ramirez.
Okay, yeah. It was more of a Red Sox, though, I thought.
No, yeah, he played like a not even a full season with the River Cats. And I
Oh, okay.
went there just to see him play, and yeah, he played.
Yeah, because he was a big time star back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the question,
Yeah.
Mike. What's it mean to you now? All these years later, Warrior's been gone for over a decade. Knowing that he could sense that about you. What's I mean, and you have changed. You've done stuff in major ways.
I mean, I wish I could tell him for one thing, but he's not around, obviously, because he would totally get a kick out of this. Yeah, I told you, that kind of thing. And I know he would be happy and proud.
Yeah.
Shit, I think he would actually be like, what the fuck when I tell him that, yeah, I met a woman on an international dating website and we're doing this long distance relationship. He's like, dude, what the hell? That kind of thing. But he'd be happy for me, But
Right.
I got to look at it as, so WrestleMania 6 was in 90. So I was 14. Think about it. A 14-year-old becoming 20 and you're working with your favorite wrestler. And your favorite wrestler didn't talk shit about you, saying you're a loser, you dropped out of college, what the hell's wrong? He didn't do any of that.
That's not Warrior, but
Right.
Yeah.
He uplifting, very positive about me. And he didn't mind me using his name when I was trying to do the whole wrestling writing stuff and traveling all over the country and interviewing people from Eddie Guerrero to Shawn Michaels and, the
that's
future
because
Daniel Bryan, superstar, John Cena and all that, meeting these guys.
you're Warriors guy. That's why. Just
That's what Dave Meltzer said. That's what he called me. I was like, dude, I have a name, but I didn't want to say anything. I was like, yeah, that's me.
so good. I think that's cool. It's awesome. You once again, your favorite. I mean, and he wasn't the guy that you meet other actors, musicians, whatever, wrestlers.
Right, exactly. Yep.
They're not that. They're assholes. They're not.
Yep.
What Warrior cared about his fans, and people in general. And like Mike, you and I've talked about this. Other people talking shit, wrestlers, promoters, whatever. They were jealous of him. I mean, Vince got behind Warrior, so if it's because of his look, there's so much more there. But
Right.
yeah, Warrior.
I mean,
Back, yeah, if he's gonna talk shit,
Warrior gave me dating advice. Like, what the hell, Who would have ever thought that? Like, you've got the Ultimate Warrior, former world champion that beat Hulk Hogan in his prime, clean, pin in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
1990, and here we are, the year 2000. So 10 years later, he's giving a 24-year-old guy dating advice.
That's not bad.
That's crazy, right?
And once again, and you understand, Mike. This has got. I just could relate with you more. because you've done so much, but you don't take it seriously, even though you know what you're doing is serious to make a difference. But it's not like, yeah, I'm Warriors guy. I'm messing with you with that, but I think it's
Yeah.
cool that
Right.
that came, and I will reference that in the future. But why? How the heck did you get there? But I get the mindset. Trust me, there's stuff I've done. It's like,
Mhm.
um, and that's so. It's just awesome. It's nice to hear somebody's stories that, especially being a Warrior fan, having contact with them like you did, and um, yeah, just how things worked out. It's
Yeah.
and once again, you're just looking at yourself. You just turned how old? 50?
Yeah. I just turned 50.
And as you go along in life, you're how the hell? I'm nobody, but yeah, look at
Yep.
what you have. And you know that, but it's
Right.
other people, shit happens and it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be bad. And
Yeah.
once again,
Mm-hmm.
when shit happens, and Warrior would back this up, shit happens, you gotta learn something from it.
Mhm.
You know, if you're always
Yep.
successful, I mean, oh, he was always successful with everything he did. Ha, there's
Right.
a joke. I
Yeah.
mean, chips, but anyway,
But you
just,
gotta try things out. You gotta live and learn, that kind of thing.
yes. Yeah, figure it out. That's what my parents always told me. You
That's
want
what Warrior
something?
told me too. He said, you're gonna figure it out because I can't figure it out for you. You will figure it out, but I know you'll do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I always have my parents backing me up, but to have, I mean, he's a celebrity. Let's put it that way. Even though
Yes.
he's been out of the ring for what, 4 years at that time? Oh no, 3 years. He's been out of the ring for 3 years. And then he comes back and gets that huge pop at WrestleMania 12. And I'm thinking, oh, he's done with me. No big deal. He's got the machine behind WWE. I'm like, no, you're with us
Yeah.
still. You're with us before, during, and
Yeah.
after. So,
Yeah. Mind blowing, isn't it? Looking back,
yeah.
just that mind blowing. I just know I can feel, I get it, and I just that's why I bring it up because
Mhm.
yeah, it's just so special. It really is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
And when we did the other podcast with you were so quiet on that one for the most part. So to have you on this one is that's why I'm glad you came on.
I am
I got
Yeah.
to
too.
get going. That's why I'm trying to move this forward. I got it still packed for tomorrow and travel to Seattle and drive. And I still got to, I had somebody text me and so you guys can keep, but I got to get going. Mike,
I put this
oh,
computer
sure.
together still for work tomorrow.
Okay, good. It's not, Mike, thanks so much, man.
Yes, thank you so
We'll
much
talk
for
to you
coming
one
on
day.
today.
Yeah, no
I
I
problem.
got
appreciate
it.
it. Oh, I
I know.
wanted to share a real quick story. I know you got to get going, buddy. But before you leave, I know you know this one. Since you were talking about NBA and basketball, my childhood best friend that I grew up with, I know his dad. I went to Skill Source, worked on Joey's car. His name is Joe Harris. Yes, my
Mhm.
best friend Joe Harris played for many basketball teams, but my most memorable moment when by the time he was a senior, I knew he was going to be an NBA superstar. He should still be playing, but
Mhm.
because of his foot injury, no. But the most
Yeah.
cherished moment that I can go and tell people, hey, my best friend beat Steph Curry in the 3-point contest. And here's a picture of me and Joey right there.
Oh,
Awesome
cool.
dude. Friends with his dad. His dad was his high school coach growing up. He's
Yeah.
one of the all time coaches. But yeah, awesome dude.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, you mentioned like because of foot injury, he couldn't go. One thing I don't know if I ever mentioned to you, Victor, but I forget what year it was. It was around the time that I started working out and getting bigger. And the promoter noticed it. And he goes, you know what? You look like a young Billy Kidman. We could train you and we could make you like a Mikey Kidman or something. So
Right.
I was like, I'm not really interested in being a wrestler. I'm only 5'6", so I'm like Rey Mysterio type size and I can't do the lucha libre stuff. So I was like, no, we'll train you for free. I was like, no, I'm cool, but appreciate it. And then he asked me my opinion, like, who do you think would be, what'd you think of those guys when you met with Shawn Michaels? What do you think of his students? I said, I think that Daniel Bryan guy, he's got a future. Sure enough, a year later or so, he hired him to be the head trainer at his wrestling school.
Oh wow.
Damn.
You picked.
Maybe I had some kind of influence in Daniel Bryan getting that job. I don't know, but the promoter, he respected my opinions. Basically, he knew I'm a long life pro wrestling fan. I understood the business. I just never been in the ring as a wrestler, but to take my opinion on it, he went with it.
You have been in a ring at least and taken a bump or two, haven't you, Mike?
Never taken a bump. I've been in the ring once just to shake the ropes, you know,
Yeah.
and run the ropes like I was Warrior, but that's about it. I don't remember being picked up and body slammed off the top of my head. Maybe I have, I just don't remember. But I do remember stepping in the ring for APW and shaking the ropes, but never a WWF ring. I've been backstage a few times. I got introduced to Ken Shamrock. I got to see the casket for Undertaker.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, just I have no interest in being a wrestler. But it's like, yeah, you could be Mikey Kidman, his cousin or something, because I did look like him.
Right.
So I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just stay behind a computer. It's safe.
Yeah. Once again, when I did the training camp, it was just Warrior me, and I knew that's before it became or just slow and handicapped, but got to learn to take a bump and whatever. It doesn't hurt if you did it right. Bullshit. Yeah. Anyway, I did, and here I'm doing it trying in front of Warrior, and there's a picture that Dana had taken, but I did one of the bumps just by myself. Yeah, no, and I just wanted to meet him, and I got to experience. No,
that's something I want to do, but I just couldn't afford to fly out there. I didn't want to ask him, "Hey, can you fly me out there?" I didn't want to do that to make it look like I'm using him or something,
Right. I wasn't, but just in general, if you'd ever taken a bump or anything other than what my experience, I don't want to. I don't have any. I never wanted to be a wrestler. I was an entertainer doing the drumming thing at the time. So yeah, no. I just was wondering if you felt the pain because it hurts. I got whiplash.
No, I bet it does. I mean, I slammed my hand on the mat before.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever done is play basketball in an NBA court so many times.
Show off. He always has to show off over it. Wow.
What's that?
You just always have to one up me, and I'm joking.
Well, you're like, there's got to be a story you haven't told me yet. Like, I don't know if I told you this, so I'll just throw it out there.
That's awesome. You've got to do things that people have just drool to do, and you've been in the situation, the opportunity.
Yep. And so once we end this call, I gotta go on social media and post the information to meet the players on Sunday that we just drafted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I will be posting this podcast on my YouTube channel. I'll give Victor here the information.
I'll take him. Get him hooked up. I'll get him
He'll be up there forever. So yeah.
All right.
Well, Mike, thank you.
Yes.
God damn it, even more. That's awesome. I just did positive. That's when Warrior liked. That's why him and I connected. I'm sure that's why you connected.
Yeah.
Positive. It happens to everybody, obviously.
Right.
Yep. It's how you do with it and learn from it, and still do the best you knew. Yeah. So
in
thank you very
closing,
much.
me and Shock Warrior always like to ask, or you can tell tell everybody, what is your advice, one positive thing
life for you, for everybody else,
that everybody could use in life as of now that you would like to share with everybody?
So this goes back to Warrior again. What was his catchphrase that he would use that he actually sued WWF over? That was always believed.
Yep.
And he always emailed me that. He would write his email, his big message or small message, but always believe Warrior. So I would do the same thing. And then after I just stopped using it. But then I got reintroduced to my past because of, friends like Victor and a few others. Like, it reminded me of what Warrior used to tell me, that your life matters. Don't spin your wheels like a hamster or just being stuck, in mud. Your life means something, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to try things. You know, if you fail at it, fine. At least you tried. You move on to something else. He knew I dropped out of college, but he'd say, "Oh, your life's over. You're screwed." So no, keep trying to do something. So I would just go with what Warrior told me, what he taught me. And now on my LinkedIn, I put always believe. And also in my emails, when I email my students, I got my tagline. It says, always believe Mike. I want the students to see that so that they'll believe as well. So in a way, keeping Warrior's legacy around without them realizing where it came from. And I've helped others. My job is not easy to get. It's very political. Like I said, it took me 12 years. I just helped somebody who had less than 1 year of part-time experience gain full-time because he applied for like 11 jobs and he got 0 interviews. So I said, look, I've heard great things about you. I'll take you under my wing, but whatever I tell you, don't take it personal. He said, okay. Like, I went warrior mode on him. I was like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? 5 pages of a fucking resume? What the fuck's wrong with you? I was doing that, right? I was like, dude, we gotta get it down to 2 pages. This shit doesn't matter. This shit doesn't, this is good. So I had him, we were on the phone for like 3 hours a night, every other night, working on his resume. We got it cleaned up. I even heard his wife in the background go, this is way better than the shit that you had. Like, she's listening to me basically the way I talk. So we cleaned that up. We did his diversity statement. We did his cover letter. He applies for a long-term temp position. He gets an interview. I was like, great. Let's go over questions. Here's some possible questions to ask. I want you to answer them. What the fuck, dude? Are you serious? I would do that to him, just like what Warrior would do. And it's just out of tough love. That's all it is. You know, that's all it is. And he was okay with it because I told him from the beginning, don't take what I say personally. So he went through it. He would call me after the interview. Was, dude, one of the questions, the scenario gave me was the exact scenario in the interview. I was like, shit, I only used it because they gave it to me like 10 years ago. I didn't talk to anybody on the committee. I had no idea. But I asked him, okay, let's go question by question. How did you feel? How did you answer it? Okay. I think you did pretty well, but I don't know who else interview, how they did. He gets a call for a second level interview, which is the final. So you can't really prepare for it. So I gave him some questions and answers of what I experienced. He had a second level. We would like miss each other calls, and then he picked up the phone, or I picked up the phone, or so he goes, I was like, so how'd it go? He goes, well, we're going out for a steak dinner. Because that was the deal. If you get the job, you take me for a steak dinner. And not some cheap, Denny steak either. We're going to a nice restaurant. So we did. Then, like 2 or 3 months later, they have a full-time permanent position. So he took the stuff that I taught him. He applied. He got interviews to both jobs. He interviewed for the first job, got a second level before he even got the second level for the other job. They offered it to him. He called me back and I missed his call. I says, how'd it go? So, dude, we're going out for another steak dinner. That's the best accomplishment I've had in telling someone to believe in themselves. And that's awesome. Just the things that, what Warrior did with me. But like I said, the cussing and stuff, like a sailor, that's just the way he talks. But he's not doing because he's like, he hates you or something. No, it's just tough love. That's all it is. And it's like a bonding thing as well, how I saw it. So now I do it, and I've already helped, I don't know, like 4 or 5 people gain full time since doing this. And I've collected on some steak dinners, but other people still owe me. They're asking me, what are we going to do? It's like, just wait. I'll let you know when I'm ready. So I post this shit on my LinkedIn, and I'm getting all kinds of people like following me now and reading the stuff that I'm sharing, this inspirational, just believing, here's my situation. Look what I was able to do. If I can do it, you can do it. Whatever it is.
Look at what you've gone through.
I can't tell you what you're going to do in your life and how it's going to work out. But if you do this, at some point, it's going to happen.
Somebody said that to you, and I hear him. Oh my God, that's awesome. It's so fun.
Awesome.
Who would have thought, Mike? Who would have thought you would be inspiring because of why and how Warrior did what he was. It was just him being him. Now you're doing it and coming across, and it's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing my ass off. I can read. Or there's a kid that I met 10 years ago. He worked at the mall. I was worked at part time at GameStop for fun, and I hung out with him just the other day. He used to ask me, "Why am I so mean to him?" Because I'm verbally obnoxious, like Warrior. In my opinion, you don't have to like it, but you'll know it.
Okay.
He finally got the clue because this kid didn't have no dad. His mom's bad childhood and family, but he finally got it that, dude, you screw up. Stop fucking around.
Yep.
Why are you so mean to me, Vic? He finally realized I'm not being mean to him. And I said, you haven't seen me. You're being a dumbass. Stop being a dumbass.
Right.
Not quite,
Right.
but that's
No,
awesome.
I mean that's how Warrior spoke, and it make me wonder sometimes. Did he? Because he's probably in what, like mid-30s, late 30s, or something at that time. I'm in my early 20s. Like, did he see me as a son or a young brother or what? I don't know. I never asked him, but
He probably saw you as part. I'm sure his family.
yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you were back. You were in his group. He trusted you. It's get it, and that's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that, especially about Warrior. And
Same.
you, Mike.
I love hearing all these stories. Like I loved Ultimate Warrior, and then once I got to know Shock Warrior over here, that's
Mhm.
when he introduced me to the face paint and stuff. I was like, I got to face paint my face, and I did. But
Yeah.
this guy right here down here inspired me to be where I'm at today. Like one of the few people that inspired me to be in this position today of streaming, and I don't regret it at all. And I carry the name Warrior when I face painted, which everybody calls me Fox Warrior Gaming 4. I stream on Kick.
Yeah.
He gave me all the inspiration to do it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of this guy down here. Awesome people.
Stop being a dumbass. That's all I said.
Nice.
I'm just glad to be a part of anything. If I did something good in life, I'm happy. Just
Same.
Yeah. All
again,
it takes is just make a difference in one person's life.
Yes.
You've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
At least one.
I know.
Yep.
I know. Fuck yes too. All right. I'm tired of talking to you. It's your life. Make it happen. That's my tagline. I've used it forever. So
Yes.
I gotta go pack my face paint, and because I gotta be all dressed up and pretty.
But yeah, it was fun having you on, and I enjoyed hearing all the stories. It was amazing. Just every podcast keeps getting amazingly fun. And thanks for coming on. We'll have to bring you back on.
You won't come because of me now. Thanks, but we'll stay in contact, Mike. I'll be sending you pictures, and we'll be talking a little bit more.
Sounds
And
good.
thank you for everything. It was fun. Sorry, I actually enjoyed it.
And before you
Yeah,
get
like I
going,
told you, I don't do this sort of thing. I'm not. I don't like being on camera talking and stuff. But I figure, you know what? You did it for Amir. For me, I can do it for you. Like just returning the favor.
awesome.
Friend for a friend. Yeah.
Take care of each
Appreciate
other.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've had a good time.
Me too.
I really did.
And last thing I'll
Imagine
say,
we did this without a beer. Imagine that.
yeah.
I don't drink. I just don't care.
Neither do
I
I.
do with my milk or my Coca-Cola. And we're gonna be talking about me visiting down there sometime in the near future. I'm just telling you now. We'll be talking.
I just got back from the DR at a all-inclusive hotel, which means all the alcohol you can drink. It's in your hotel room, in the fridge. No temptation to drink it at all. None.
No, not at all. Jesus. Hey, yeah, okay. On that note, tell your wife I said hi. She doesn't know me, but tell her I said hi.
Before you get going, next podcast will be on the I have it written down. Well, right here. 24th of July. Same time.
Okay, good.
Place. So,
Same bad channel, same bad time, same Warrior channel, same Warrior time.
Yep,
like
there we go.
Pull that one out. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you soon. See you, Foxy.
See you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
See you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.